Hey, yo, what up, man? Yo, can you hear me? Hey, Prince, you in here, Prince? What's up, Prince? Prince, you still here? Prince, you here? I'm gonna drop the link for you, Prince. Make sure you stick around, brother. I'm gonna make sure you get your whole due, brother. You're saying a whole lot of shit in the chat, Prince. So I want to make sure that you get to say everything you want to say, brother. But you got to stick around, and get some of this good knowledge. So you think you a smart nigga, but nah, man, you got a lot to learn. Yeah, KD, he finna learn today. So, uh, I hope he's trying to get Ramil, huh? You say what? More and more? What the fuck you talking about? I'm confused. Ramil not live. Ramil's not live. Oh, truth, we gonna find out, brother. We gonna find out. But anyway, shout out to Bernard Riley for this great inspiration. And as I always do, man, I trigger niggas, right? Light skinned niggas to be exact. We got an old light skinned nigga and a young light skinned nigga that I done pissed the fuck off over what? Just stating facts. And again, everything that I'm saying can be verified. I did not tell one lie. I didn't even get emotional. See, the light skinned nigga is not used to getting joked and this, that, and the other, la, la, la. So when a nigga kick a little few jokes, and it's innocent jokes, niggas getting they feeling they want to take them personal and use that as an excuse to go off and, be fake, mad, aggressive, and alpha. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. It's jokes. All right. But again, most niggas is not used to being, I guess, like, on the receiving end. So if and when they respond in this visceral manner because they're just not used to it. Which again, man, a little bit of, joking and teasing and shit, it's actually good for you. It helps you develop that confidence that one of the dudes was talking about. The shit where you believe that you can fucking go up against that bear and fight him if you had to, only if you had to. Okay, but you're not gonna just go out and look for a bear to fight because as your intelligence would tell you, nigga, you're gonna die. All right. So what we have here is dudes that think they're special. We all do, which you should, and I agree with that. Cause see, I know at some points I'm gonna contradict and conflict myself because a lot of the things I'm talking about is gonna be, well, nigga, you contradict. No, I'm really not. Cause see, listen, does anybody know that one thing that has 100% failure rate? Can you name it? Can you tell me the one thing that has a 100% failure rate and everybody does it every day? Truth, you should know this answer, brother. Truth, I need you to be the first one to answer the question. Truth, what is the one thing that has a 100% failure rate that we all do every day? Truth, shout out to Agon, bro. What is that, Truth? Brother Truth, go ahead and answer that for me. Truth, you're being too slow, brother. You got to know the answer to this. What's the one thing that has a 100% failure rate, but we all do it every single day? Thank you. Life, live, to live. See, Truth, you really are a smart brother. You really are. You so Truth, I'm gonna give you a little bit of something. You are kind of a smart nigga. So the shit you was sitting up there with your little sermon and doing all this extra shit, everyone does it on the everyday inherently, bro. You live life. There's one guarantee in life without anything else, and that's death. But yet and still, no one just fucking, hey, unless you are one of these people that, you know, feel like taking your own life, we all play the game, even though we know that the failure is gonna come. You don't have a choice in this game, though. You really have a choice in life. I mean, you got a choice when to end it, sort of, kind of, but again, that would still be the minority of people. So when you guys start talking about marriage and shit, this is the thing about marriage, bro. Listen, marriage is what's the difference between marriage and just a regular relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend? What's the difference? A fucking piece of paper, bro. You know what happens in most fucking relationships? They fail. 99% relationships between men and women, or just people in general, have a fucking 99% failure rate. There's motherfuckers out here that don't talk to their own mama, sister, brother, daddy. And you out here telling me that You want men in 2021 to put themselves in a legal obligation and contract. Shout out to Zero. The only fucking contract in the world that is just changeable and negotiable after the fact. Okay? After the fact, you get to claim this, claim that. You don't need any evidence. You don't need any proof. You don't need any fucking anything. And you get to go to the courtroom, sit down and say, oh, he was abusive. Well, man, what kind of abusive? Was he physically abusive? Yes. He was emotionally abusive. He was verbally abusive. He was sexually abusive. He was attention abusive. He's all these kinds of abuses. Well, ma'am, do you have any type of police records or therapy or anything to prove? No, but he did it. All right, man. Well, we're gonna believe you. We're gonna award you with this, and this. Good luck, nigga. But judge, I didn't. No, shut up. Shut up. You man, you evil, rapist, misogynistic, abuser, man. You shut up. You pay that woman, even though she's gonna fucking go on without you. What fucking fool would sign up for that willingly? Knowing that the odds say the shit is gonna fucking fail. See, it's fun and it's cool to fucking have this fake ass macho bravado, I can conquer all things motherfucking attitude. But bruh, even in that, there's some intelligence in it, nigga. They tell you in the fucking Bible, you have to build your house on what? A solid foundation. You don't build your fucking mansion on sand. Dummy. You don't fucking just fucking find the fucking edge of the beach and the shoreline and build a house right there. There's a reason you don't do that. People that do that, they have a name for them. They call them daredevils. They call them thrill seekers. You know, the people that purposely live to defy the odds. They too are what? The vast minority of people. So when you get up here and because your shit is working for you now, which again, I wish you the best. I hope it all works out for you. I hope it's forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. I hope that shit is really you. But again, bro, that's you. Reared in hell. As long as it lasts. Odds and numbers say that it's not. Am I hoping against it? No. Am I saying you shouldn't try? It's up to you. But then this is one thing that the other old light skinned nigga, bro, this is my opinion. I'm not telling you to do what I did or don't do it. If you want to get married, nigga, go ahead and get married. But again, now that I warned you and gave you all the facts and the things after it, hey, don't complain after the fact if it don't work out. But everything starts off great when it's brand new, nigga. Everything's good. Everything. And let me give y'all a little context about my shit. Shout out to Kenny Conjo, man, for the 5. Thank you, brother. What up, Mr. Fantastic? It's light skin, bro. Kenny Conjo passing through. Failure isn't in my vocabulary. You all easy back to work. Appreciate you, brother. And again, you understand having that attitude. But this is what I'm saying, bro. Listen. My marriage was a real marriage. Not one of these fake military fucking marriages where I got married for fucking BAH and all this other shit. La la la. I wanted to get out of the barracks. Niggas, I was already out of the barracks. I already had BAH because I already had kids. Okay? I already had my house before I was married. My house on my own, right? I actually loved my wife. Loved, okay? Like a fool back then, I was in love. Didn't know no better. You know? I didn't marry my wife because I had fucked all the hoes and I was tired of fucking hoes. I wanted to motherfucking get out the game and I just want, I done had my pussy feel so. No, I actually cared and gave a damn about this woman with my fucking heart and soul. We got married. There was a lot of shit with marriage, bro. A lot of shit. Marriage is not easy. Marriage is a fucking job. The most toughest fucking job ever. Because you know what you're doing? You're trying to please another person that's a woman. And we all know women don't know what they want. Okay? Love don't pay the bill. Love don't last always. Love don't fix issues and problems. Love don't do none of that shit, bro. There's a lot of shit that you need in a relationship in order for it to be successful. Very few people live to figure it out. Again, don't argue with me. Argue with another successful nigga, Floyd Mayweather. Am I saying everything Floyd Mayweather did is correct? No, I'm not. No, because the nigga had kids and shit along the way. But at the end, still, it's a better bet for him to just pay the child support and 18-year this versus fucking life, or versus a bitch getting half. You know one thing you're not gonna get in child support is half. Shot to zero. Good question to actually be, why is the government in the marriage in the first place? Separation of church and state alone puts the conflict in place. Exactly. That's why they removed the church from the thing, and you can go do it at justice of the peace. Um, uh, Zero. But a lot of people don't understand that. It is revenue for the state. Marriage is a contractual bond between two people that the state has control over. That's why when you want to end the marriage, you have to go to the state to ask permission to do it. It's a racket. It's a fucking racket. It's a racket, bro. And literally from the original premise and purpose of it, it had nothing to do with the state. It was something between two families that pretty much went down. Hey, you're a good guy. You got this. Your family has this. We're gonna give you over to her to take possession of this woman. That's the whole marriage ceremony. But again, people don't know shit about that. Now I'm getting to the weeds. Let me get back on point. So I actually had a good marriage for a substantial amount of time. But again, what happens? Me and my wife got married young. I was 26 years old. She was 20. You know what the fuck you know about life and about even you as a person at 26 and 20? Very little. It complicates it even more when, again, I'm in the military. So what? Distance, being separated a lot. Then we had the kid. We had my son. That was difficult. She started out, she wasn't working. She had to reestablish herself, but she relocated. That was difficult. You know how difficult it is and how frustrating it is to take care of 100% of the bills, nigga? That's why I was going to war with the old niggas when they was talking about, oh, if you don't pay 100%, you ain't a real man, or you this, you that. Listen, bro, stop it. That's bullshit. There's a reason why it's called median household income. In the current fucking society, it's meant for two people in the household, the two adults in the household to be working. That's what it takes for you to be comfortable. There's a reason why fucking finance is one of the fucking major reasons for divorce, because bro, money is, nigga, money runs everything, and you need that shit. Shout out to LA Divine. Yeah, I know that, bro. Listen, it's funny to me when niggas talk about it's what college you go to and they talk about IQ, and it's just like, bro, you got it. Shout out to my man. What did he say? What was he at? What my man say? He's 26. Where you at? Maury Mo. I'm 26 and I barely know. Exactly, man. That's what I'm saying. So imagine, imagine you being yourself and you still discovering yourself as a person, as a man. You know what I'm saying? And then taking on a woman to take care of that you're responsible for. You got to pay for everything and all these other things. Deal with her and her issues and her shortcomings and learn her and all these things, bro. That's what love will do. Love will have you out here doing stupid shit, rushing into shit you got no business doing. Because why? You deeply care about, concern with, affection, all that shit for this woman, bro. I have this fucking marriage shit down to a science for the most part. When I came into this YouTube shit, everything was good. But distance over time start eating away at it. We've been living apart for that, what, 2016? And what? So 2019 made it about 3 years. And what really fucked it up is when I transferred to my next command. The old command was cool because we all came from Florida and Jacksonville, so they knew that, hey, everybody's family's still there, so they had no problem and issue with you traveling back and forth. It wasn't no big deal. But then once I transferred to another command, then the shit kept getting, less and less and all these other things and whatnot, what have you. And just like we both fucking just grew and changed. My whole mindset being alone and away from her helped me grow as a person. I became a better man, okay, while being away from my wife, and I changed my mindset. I have better understandings of a lot of things. Of course, once you do that, you're going to have fundamental differences. You know, roles, expectations, requirements, all these different things. And what would I do? So what do I do? Do I lie to myself and I stop believing what I truly honestly believe for the sake of my wife because I care about her and love her? And I fucking fake it or be miserable for some shit that's going to eventually deteriorate anyway? Or do I just stay factual and I say what I have to say and this is who I am and stand on it as a man? And if it don't work out, it don't work out. Still love her, still respect her, got no beef, no issues, no problem with her. This ain't like the shit that happened with my baby mama. It's just somebody that I cared about and we still care about each other, but it just don't work out. It's out. It's over with. But again, let me get to the old nigga now. So the old nigga, first thing he come up with, and he's, oh nigga, your marriage is failing. Well, again, brother, like I said, all a marriage is a fucking stank station relationship on paper, nigga. The majority of relationships fail. 99% of relationships fail. 99%. Boyfriend, girlfriend, platonic friends, all that shit. The vast majority of them shits fail. Why? Because people are fickle. For one, most motherfuckers are fake. Most people don't give a fuck about you outside of what you can fucking provide for them. Then when you get to the people that actually do care about you, you still have to be willing to change and conform to the things that they want you to do. But if you don't do what they want you to do, now you're a problem for them and you guys fall out. If you blue pilled, quote unquote, as you guys say, you've been to the bitch, right? But if you're a man and you stand on your man shit, like, no, I'm not going to bend to you. I'm the man. I'm supposed to be this and that and so on and so forth. I can respect this, that, and the other, and I can still care for you and still have my philosophies, but I'm not going to change my mind or you know, do things the way you want me to do it because to make you happy. Happy wife, happy life is a fallacy, bro. But it's something that was taught in fucking you know, American society to motherfucking guilt trip men and put you into this motherfucking dumbass control shit. Being led by the pussy, being led by the bitch. Once you awaken out of that thing, and if you're married during the process, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be trouble. You know how hard it is for a woman for you to change and start doing things different that you've always done. And you're not having an issue, a problem with things you always had. You're not an issue, a problem with, or asking that she do something that you never required her to do it before because of a change of philosophy. That's nightmare for a fucking woman. A woman is the ultimate creature of comfort. A woman is all about comforts, bro. That's why they monkey branch. That's why they're hypergamous. They want the best possible situation for themselves. They're built that way by nature. That's why they choose the men they choose. That's why alpha is a thing. Because before you had civilizations and buildings and all these you know, these creature comforts, you needed a big strong motherfucker that could kill shit if some tried to kill you. Shout out to TTT Kill. When old ninjas talk that real man pay all the bills, I'll be like, yes, yeah, stop it, man. Thank you, sucker. I mean, hunt. Exactly. Listen, bro. And let me get to Alan Roger Curry. Listen, Alan Roger Curry is a dude, rightfully so, that still did a lot to the game. Got no disrespect for the old nigga, but again, if you go back and look at it, hey, I call him an old fella as I always do. It's nothing new. I didn't call him a nigga till he called me a nigga. He hopped on the panel. He saw my nigga, your marriage is failing. Like that's supposed to hurt my feelings. Like nigga, okay, what's new? I'm one of the 99%. And you know, I approached and countered his thing. He was capping, talking about over 50% of the men he know is successfully married. I still say that's cap. The statistics say that what he's saying is a lie. Could it be that he's that this one clique of niggas that's been married for forever? But again, at the same time, like I said, he doesn't even know he falls into the category we talked about before. What? He's a Gen Xer slash fucking like solid generation nigga. Alan Roger Curry got an ARP card, bro. You an old nigga, bro. Old people stay married and they old. Who you gonna leave? Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go? And I'm not disrespect the situation because I know a situation. Correct. Congrats to him. Again, he hasn't been married a year, but again, The brother just recently got married to a woman much younger than him. He also just had a child, all those different things, right? So the thing with him, I scared the old nigga because he knows the truth out here. His wife holds all the leverage, nigga. Your wife got all the advantages, all of it. And if you were to be left by the first woman that you actually gave a fuck about and a damn about, player from the Himalaya, Shalimar looking ass nigga in the 80s, you're able to have any woman you wanted throughout your whole life. And now that you're coming to your mortality, because again, you're older, so your whole, the whole, you know, pretty boy nigga shit don't work that much when you start hitting 50 something, it don't work as well. Even though he was still able to get a woman much younger than him, you want to settle your old ass down. You want somebody to motherfucking rub on your arthritis in your knees, and the motherfucking bunions on your feet, nigga. I understand that. And rightfully so. You've earned it, you deserve it. But you also know that at any day this bitch can leave. You see, just like you talked about back in the day, how you fucking niggas' wives and all this other shit, nigga, now you gotta worry about somebody fucking your wife. Respectfully. Because you's an old nigga. You're not here in your prime. And these young niggas out here that's doing the same shit that you used to do. And on top of it, not only could a nigga, you know what I'm saying? And all this hypothetical, I'm not wishing it on him, I'm just being realistic. He sees that and he understands it. And the worst thing that could happen to him at his age, and he's actually took time to invest in his wife, and not only invest in his wife, but they have a child together, what is he gonna do? A woman he actually and truly fucking cares about. A nigga that ain't never really cared about bitches his whole life. He was able to get by on his ability to talk to women, have casual sex with women, have any women he wants. But now he actually has a woman he cares about, and she could leave him any day. That's scary as fuck, especially for an old nigga. He got to admit it to me. You know what it is, I know what it is. My bad, man. Let me catch up on these super chats, bro. Shout out to Grinch, bro. Truth, looked like he wasn't getting hunched. Come on, man. Hey, man, that's one of your fellow light-skinned brethren, bro. Let me see where we at. Shout out to an ancient man. Every married man in the beginning thinks he's found the unicorn until she gets filled or her time level up. Then she will put you on the curb. Indiscretion is not yours. Exactly. That's a risk you run, man. That's a risk you run. That's a risk you run. Because again, the woman has all of the power dynamic and relationship dynamics in the state. That's facts. I wasn't one of these niggas that was just also miserable in my marriage. And said, no, it was, bro, again, bro, I learned that, bro, life is just, bro, a routine and it's pretty monotonous. And you get this and you get that. Yes, you have to pay attention to your wife. You have to give her time. You have to show affection. You have to show her that you care. You have to do all those things. You can still do all those things. And again, it cannot be enough. Okay? It cannot be enough for reasons that may not even be your fault. Who knows? Women have shit that go along. Shit, well, my wife, bro, her fucking job that's another big thing too. Occupations. My wife was working a fucking job, man. Again, she was doing all of this too, for 2 years with my son. That's why I had no problem with taking my son for the last year, man. My wife's working a job, bro, but she worked fucking up to 12-hour fucking days, bro. And she gonna call on weekends, dealing with fucking traumatic shit. A lot of her shit don't even got nothing to do with me or her. It's just some of the shit she done seen, bro. That's the field of work she's in. She's grown a lot. She's changed a lot mentally. So again, for niggas to throw this shit in my face is like, oh, nigga, your marriage failed. Okay, nigga. All right. Well, I'm out here now, and everything's good. BABG back on the scene, nigga. Hey, I ain't got no trouble, no problems. You don't let the lion out the cage, nigga. The gorilla's in the midst, nigga. I'm just saying, man. You can't shame me with that, man. Because again, bro, Dr. Dre, Just had a fucking aneurysm, dog. Will Smith. These are fucking icon level black men, all time niggas. That what? Got played by the bitch. Tyrese. What, the list goes on. Keep naming them. Shit. Kevin Garnett. Tim Duncan. If this can happen to, again, this transcends pay grade. This transcends fucking social status. This transcends looks. This transcends everything. Nigga, Seal, nigga. Seal, I told you, Seal is the ugly nigga goat. But yet still, look at Seal's resume of hoes. He could get him. He was married to a woman that was the most beautiful woman in the world for I don't know how long. Gave us some kids. Still, what happened to him? Tiger Woods, Master P, Scottie Pippen. Oh my God, yeah, Scottie Pippen. Goddamn, Scottie. Scotty's calling me. It's a damn shame when they did Scottie shit. Kanye just did the shit, bro. So what the fuck makes you any more special than them? Nothing. These are extraordinary niggas in every facet of the word, and yet still what happened to them? The divorce monster got them. Their bitch changed their mind and wanted to leave. And they're going to leave with a hefty fucking sum of their accomplishments. With being nothing other than what? A bitch that fucked them. And walked down the aisle and signed a piece of paper. What's their reward? And make sure y'all getting the likes up, man. I'm not even looking at my damn looking at the YouTube, bro. Yep, Uncle Luke. Shout out to K Harton 499. Shout out to my nigga Astro. ARC went against everything he said except out because of loneliness. Hey, see, that's hey. And listen, Astro said it, I didn't say it. Listen, at the end of the day, shout out to Zero. Nigga, once you get old and you see goddamn death around the corner. Oh, 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 oh. I love you. Oh, my heart and soul. Oh, oh. I love you. I need you. Old ass niggas. Listen, baby. Hey, listen, man. I understand, bro. Nobody wants to die alone. I understand that shit. But this is my thing, right? Jessica, I see you got smoke for me too, Jessica. Hey, Jessica, make sure you come up. I want it. No, I'm not saying you should be alone forever. No, I'm not saying that. But Jessica, this is what we're saying. This man built his platform and his reputation off of, you know, promiscuity and just casual sex with women. This is the dude that most women would classify as a quote unquote womanizer, misogynist, all this other shit. He's able to provide receipts for success. I'm not doubting any of it. But I said this before. The nigga seen his mortality, bro. The nigga seen his mortality. So what do? You settle down. Settle down. It always happens. Shout out to Zero, yeah. Watch marriage. Watch my uncles do it. They were pimps. As soon as they got this yard, they got married to their bottom bust downs. That's what I'm telling you, and that's just nature, man. Nobody wants to die by themselves. Humans are fucking social creatures, so everybody's going to succumb to it. The thing about it is, the women have the upper hand the whole time. Everything's in a woman's fucking advantage. This is why older men like younger women. You're either going to outlive the man or you're going to replace him with a younger man because you're much younger than him. Oh, who being scared of the debate, nigga? Hold on, let me go and help you out, young nigga. Let me go and help you out. Let me go ahead and drop this shit for you. Just for you, my nigga. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Prince, get your ass up here, Prince. Prince. Get your ass up here, Prince. Get your ass up here, Prince. Nigga can't take a joke and shit. Nigga, you supposed to be as patient as you is. You want to talk so damn much, nigga. Get your ass up here.
Can't
there you go. Nigga, you supposed to be as patient as you is. You want to mute your background, though, good fella. Mute your background, bro. Go ahead, it's on you.
Can't
there you go. Nigga, you supposed to be as patient as you is.
Oh, my bad. Let me mute YouTube. My bad. Oh, yeah, because I guess, okay, my bad. Okay, so, yeah, so I never really got a chance to speak. I got interrupted just talking about my grandparents. I sat there and listened to you for like 5 minutes, and then when it was my turn to explain my perspective, I was just laying out a foundation of my thought, and niggas started assuming what my conclusion was going to be. And then I started responding to interruptions, and again, like a narrative was formed about my opinions when I had yet to even lay them out. So the reason why I brought up that, in my opinion, you should not go about any endeavor concerning the failure rate. It's not that you don't need to know it. It's not that you don't need to know your obstacles. It's that successful people do not concern themselves with failure insofar as they concern themselves with probability and reasons, right? So if I say, hey, man, 500,000 people a year die from car crashes, so you don't buy a car, like you got to actually be, consistent with your thinking. You can't just run off data sheets and then make narratives.
No, can I ask you a question, Simon?
So what I was going to say.
No, let him get the whole shit, bro. Go ahead.
All I was going to say is what I would say to people is, look, different strokes for different folks. First of all, don't feel culturally pressured to get married if you genuinely don't see it calling you. That's off top. Second, if marriage calls your name, you deserve a discussion about that, because maybe it's because you were brainwashed by society and Disney culture, or maybe you're of the personal disposition to want to be a father, want to be a grandfather, want to have a wife. The problem is you have to actually understand the female nature in order to fulfill that role correctly. And so it's like all these assumptions about my opinions. I'm like, when I'm mentioning the fact that my grandfather was a married man for 80 plus years, it's like my grandfather makes over $500,000 a year. Like, most men are not my grandfather. My grandfather is right now retired at 93, a house on the lake. So it's just like, I'm not out here. My grandmother worshipped my grandfather and would brag about how no man compared to him. So it's like, you don't get that out of a woman by being average. And that's why it's like, if you're looking for an average marriage, you might have to look for a less attractive woman. There's all kinds of shit that play into it. And it's like, that's the discussion. The discussion is not some white and black binary, don't get married. Nigga, are you in shape? Do you have money? Are you competitive? If you're not, why are you looking for competitive women? It's not about the marriage. It's a lot of times out of place. Niggas love to reach, right? So niggas will do everything they can to get something just out they reach and then not maintain, and then get surprised because the relationship was based off blue pill shit anyway. You were going into it trying to give her everything. You supposed to be what she's working for. So many niggas have shit backwards. So you can't go, look how marriage fails. No, look how niggas don't know how to run their bitch. Fuck out of here, nigga. Like, my bitch is right here. Are you crazy? Like, I'm not scared of marrying her. What the fuck she gonna do to me? But a nigga who's blue pill will feel that way. A nigga who can't check his game and run his shit. She compliments me. I don't need her. She's not scared of me saying that. That's regular. 2 years in. What the fuck? That's why, like, so for me, a nigga who's winning, I got it out the mud. Don't get it confused. My family has money, but my mom wasn't shit. Didn't talk to my dad. Didn't get to talk to him till I was damn near 18, 20. And she was, as usual, a typical bum bitch. I was homeless at 16. So it's like, I've never operated off of this. Oh, I mean, if it's, maybe I can't get it done. It's like, that's not how you get into the top 10%. You don't get into the top 10%. And I'll finish on this. There is one winner of the race, but we still run.
Can I ask you a question?
Oh, no. Hold on, Sergeant War. Hold on, bro. Back up, nigga. And then we're gonna go to ARC after this, and then we'll pick up everybody else.
Oh, and to the niggas in the chat, eat a dick, nigga, you're broke.
Okay, wow. Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, cool. All right. So again, bro, yeah, your bitch this, your bitch that. You get to say bitch in front of your bitch, and yeah, she's now, nigga. What are you saying? You're nothing special. Are you talking? You calling niggas broke? Are you Floyd Mayweather? You got Floyd Mayweather
Oh,
money?
here we go.
Oh, hey, no, stop. No. Listen, nigga, you brought it up. So we gonna dress it. We gonna flesh this out. I'm asking you a question. You talking like you big bank Hank and all this other shit, You talking about the bread and shit like this. So I'm gonna ask you again. You have Floyd Mayweather money?
$8K a month. It's like top.
Okay, so that's 12%. Not Floyd Mayweather money. Cool. So it's not
top
Floyd
12%.
Mayweather money.
I'm chilling.
So cool. Wait, listen. All right. So again. So being that you don't have Floyd Mayweather money, you don't have Will Smith money, you don't have Dr. Dre money.
Will Smith is a simp.
Wait. Again, niggas can say you a simp too because you're believing in marriage.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's subjective, my nigga. Just like you can have an opinion, everybody else can. Like, you know how you saying fuck the chat? That's why you're getting all emotional because niggas calling you a simp. But anyway, it is what it is because listen, you think you're special, which you're supposed to. I feel you, brother. Exactly. And I'm with you, nigga. I'm a special nigga too. BABG all the motherfucking way, nigga. Hey, me against the world. I understand all that shit, bro. What you missing is this, nigga. You're not special when it comes to the bitch. You're just a tool, nigga. You're 8,000. Wait. Let me tell you. You're 8,000 a month tool that again you could be replaced for a nigga with nothing. Nothing. You understand that? That's the God honest truth.
Yeah.
Nothing. A nigga that don't got half the shit you got can come along and do, you know what? Take your bitch. Well, let's get away from that, okay? The whole thing of my point was this. You keep using the exception as the rule, brother. For you to be so intelligent, you should understand that your grandfather was a great man. You said $500,000 house on the lake, all these other things, $500,000 a year. How much you said? The 500,000 mark that you said. Great. Your grandfather was a great man, is a great man in a whole nother era. Okay?
True.
This is not your granddaddy. Wait, this is not your granddaddy's generation, brother.
True. I know.
I just gave you several examples of black men that will be high value, highly attractive according to women and all this other shit, just like your granddaddy today. But what is happening? They getting fucked over. Now again, I'm with you. I'm not telling nobody to not do it. If you want to do it, do it. But what happens is most people don't know the risk and the data behind it. Niggas don't read. Niggas don't research.
True.
And me saying that is for that purpose. See, when you talk about your granddaddy, all niggas hear is, oh, damn, his granddaddy was successful, and this and the other. Not 80 years of marriage. Goddamn, your damn granddaddy must have got married at like 12, but goddamn, 8 years. This nigga got married at 13, but cool.
Nah, anyway, my grandma was 93.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, bro. Listen, the whole thing is this, bro. You leaving out a lot of context, which is extremely important. Again, this has been proven. You can look it up and Google it. If you take away the solid generation, which would be your grandfather, your grandmother, and you take away the generation, Gen X of marriage, bro, the fucking marriage rates are abysmal. And these are people that were raised, these are people that were raised, and I made sure you got your time, I didn't cut you off. These were people that were raised under whole different values. Bruh, it was Christianity or nothing in your granddaddy's age. You didn't have fucking atheists, you didn't have occultism, you didn't have Muslims, you didn't have none of this real shit like you have now. Bro, everything is totally against it. You didn't have OnlyFans in your granddaddy's age. You didn't have twerking in your granddaddy's age. So again, bro, you're trying to hold a false sense of like existence. You're in a whole nut, bro. You're in a time warp when you bring up your granddad, which is a great thing. You're supposed to acknowledge that. That's your lineage, that's your family history, all of that. Kudos, but that's irrelevant today. It literally means nothing. An 80-year marriage means shit in 2021. It has none of the context that matters today. That's my point, dude. Again, you're 2 years in. Are you married or y'all just together? Are you married?
No, we're just together.
All right, why are you championing it? So now, damn, nigga. So hold on, nigga. You beating the marriage drum and you ain't motherfucking jumped the broom, nigga. You ain't what the fuck going on here?
I'm done.
We'll come back to that, bro. We'll come back to that.
You're giving me so much to reply to. Oh shit.
Well, I'm just saying, nigga. I remembered everything you said, Prince. Goddamn, nigga, you said you intelligent, nigga. I know you got some motherfucking brains under that S curl. So just hold your boat, nigga. We'll be good.
This is my hair.
I know, I'm a funny ass nigga. I know we gonna get these jokes, nigga.
He said Jerry Curl. This is my hair.
Hey, play something for the guitar on this too, nigga. Play or something. Play the rain or some shit.
This nigga said,
what's up? Go ahead, mute up, nigga. We got the old light skinned nigga on the building. Go ahead, Alan.
Everybody thinks they have the one. Everyone thinks they have the one. And what I'm finding is
no, not ancient man, Alan Roger Curry. We got. Then I'm gonna get to you, brother. Alan, ARC, you here, bro?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
It's on you. Go ahead.
To get in no lengthy debate about marriage because everybody knows I've spoke my piece.
These niggas said
on marriage. But I think you told me before. How old are you, Fantastic?
37.
37. So do you invite guys that are 16, 17, 18, 19 to call you old nigga?
They do, yeah. I don't care. It don't matter to me.
Yeah, it don't matter to you. So you actually prefer that.
Yeah, like you said, it's a goal. It's a goal I have, man. I plan to be an old nigga. That's especially for a black man. That's an achievement, you know.
Okay. All right. Well, then you're a different brother. Because most people in the chat room was saying I was getting triggered over the whole marriage discussion. That had very little to do with my rod up. Is that if I had to compare it to at least one other YouTuber who I haven't seen in a while is this brother Tony Maceo. Some people might know him in the chat room. When I first got on YouTube, Tony Maceo was a brother that every time I was on a live stream with him, he was talking about my age or my complexion. And I would say, to my credit, probably 80 to 90% of the time, I flow with it, just like I have with you, Fantasia. And I think you know that. Most of the time, I do tolerate it and I laugh it off. But sometimes, man, I'm tired of hearing that shit, man. Real talk. Tired of hearing that whole, you don't see it on the flip. You don't see light-skinned niggas. And number one, I don't even think I'm light-skinned. If y'all think I'm light-skinned, then y'all think Stephen A. Smith is light-skinned. Y'all think Mike Tyson is light-skinned. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson are light-skinned niggas in my book anyway. I am a caramel colored brother, but I'm tired of people bringing up my complexion. Because it's like, what the fuck, man? This is a YouTube thing. In my real life, nobody brings up my fucking complexion. Nobody does that shit.
I was like, you crazy. My PO was dark and he called me light skin. Nah, they bring that shit up.
That's a YouTube thing, man. Before I got to YouTube, nobody was walking around saying, hell, they go ARC, the light skinned dude, and ARC, light skin. Yeah, but here on YouTube, niggas want to always bring up my shit. So that was on behalf of my trigger in our exchange. But beyond that, my biggest thing, and it's not just at Fantastic, this is towards a lot of dudes. I've had this with Obsidian. I just don't like hearing people expressing what I feel are their opinions as if they're facts. Here's the simple thing. Marriage, my simple way I sum it up, marriage ain't for everybody, period. Some people gonna get married, they're gonna stay married, they're gonna love it. Some people gonna get married and it's gonna end in divorce and they're gonna be bitter about it. End of story. One thing I don't do, I don't encourage, and this is the biggest thing you said that was invalid right before our exchange ended on Bernard's show. You said something to the effect of ARC is pro-marriage. I don't tell guys. Matter of fact, if anything, you should remember this, Fantastic. Ramil, as well as Bernard to a slightly less extent, they freaked out because my book, The Beta Male Revolution, if anybody's read my book, The Beta Male Revolution, you would almost think I'm anti-marriage. That book does nothing but criticize various aspects of marriage. I basically say in my book, The Beta Male Revolution, to all guys, basically think not twice, but 3 times before thinking about getting married.
But hold on, just real quick. Hey, let me interject real quick, ARC. Shout out to Zero. You need a man with sensitivity. Shout out to
I remember that song.
Shout out to the other brother too. It said he's gonna help me out, bro. Fantastic. Hold on, truth. I'm gonna kick it back to you. So ARC again, brother. You light skinned niggas seem to have a trend here. So this is why
what's the trend that us light skinned niggas shouldn't have?
Again, y'all are the ultimate fucking you are the ultimate hypocrites, man. I knew that.
Okay,
ARC, that's what I'm saying.
Just concentrate on me. What am I hypocrite about? What am I hypocrite about?
You were not, like you said, necessarily anti-marriage, but again, you were extremely critical of marriage. Now that you're married, you're beating the drum like, oh nigga, you don't know, and all that. No, nigga,
No. I'll stop you there because me and Bernard, if you saw the interview, Bernard did an interview where we covered all this. That was the basis of that Bernard interview because he interviewed me about my book, The Beta Male Revolution, and the specific topic was, is Alan Roger Curry being a hypocrite? And I answered that. I never changed my tune. It ain't like I say 1 year, don't ever get married, and then all of a sudden I was like, hey, all you guys should get married. I don't encourage guys to get married. Matter of fact, to take it a step further, I always say, if you don't plan on having kids or you a weak-ass beta male, one of the two, if not both, I tell guys you should never, ever get married. Because if you're a male bitch, your wife is going to browbeat you and you're going to end up being a bitter misogynist, so you shouldn't think about getting married. And if you ain't talking about raising kids, I don't think you should get married. Over half the reason I got married, because, and this is where I didn't flip, from the time I was in my 20s, I always wanted a son or a daughter. Always. I always wanted to be a father. I said, but here's the thing, though. I always said, along with that, I said I never wanted to have a baby mama, baby daddy situation. And I ain't trying to be judgmental against people who had that situation, but I never wanted a baby mama, baby daddy situation. I did not want my son, his mother, to be a baby mama. I wanted his mother to be Mrs. Curry.
Okay, so hold on, wait.
Mrs. Curry.
This will be the question to that, ARC. Why did you wait so long?
Because I wasn't ready. That's a simple thing. I wouldn't. If you would have got married in my 20s, I know for a fact I would have got divorced.
Well, hold on.
I had pussy being thrown at me.
What is that? See. Yeah. Tell us about all the pussy you was getting. This is my point. There's a big gap
in my 20s and 30s.
There's a big gap. Exactly. There's a big gap between 20 and 50.
No, I would say you can scratch my entire 20s and 30s. All I was doing was womanizing.
So this is what I'm saying. So again, this is what makes it hypocritical. If you know all you know now, right? Which I know we evolve as people, and we and you know what I'm saying, we have changed the philosophy, all those different things, whatnot, what have you. Again, it looks extremely hypocritical when you get up and you criticize me, a man that had a lengthy marriage that was successful up until the time that we both said, hey, we're not gonna do this no more, we're just gonna move on. And the first thing you try to come to me with is some, oh nigga, your marriage failed. How you know? Well, nigga, again, I'm going to.
You were talking to Bernard like you were like this master authority on marriage. That everybody should listen to your opinion on marriage.
Alan Roger Curry, do you not talk like the master authority on?
Because I got 5 books. I got 5 books.
Okay, well, again, nigga, I just wrote no book, nigga. I mean,
you're right one here, so you can be
at the end of the day, everybody's an authority on whatever you're speaking about, that you know about and that you have experience in. Do you not agree?
No.
Otherwise, why would you not?
Just because somebody got a YouTube channel and they're a content creator does not mean that they're any type of fucking authority. Not by any means.
So a nigga that picks up a pen and writes about getting pussy is what makes him an authority.
If he knows how, it's not just the fact that you write a book, it's the quality of the content. And I actually got that from Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins said that, I don't know how many people in your chat are familiar with Tony Robbins, but he's a well-known self-help guru. And he was at an interview where he was talking about being an expert. He said, there's only really 3 ways you can be an expert. He said, one is to have high academic credentials, like a PhD in a certain subject. He said, academic credential.
That's unproven. Elon Musk doesn't have any of those things. Mark Zuckerberg has none.
Anyway,
that's not true.
He said academic credential.
Graduated college.
What was number 1? He said
he
number
doesn't have
2
a PhD.
Was if you have some kind of, if you've invested a number of hours in your field to the point where you've earned some type of certification, like, for example, auto mechanic who's put in over 10,000 hours being an auto mechanic.
So again, experience then, right? That would equate experience, right?
And then the third one was he said,
hold on. I need to answer that question.
To write a book that's full of useful.
I need you to answer. I need you to go back. I need you to go back and answer that question. So the auto mechanic with over 10,000 hours of work, what is that called?
That's called dedication to his craft.
That's called experience, nigga.
Okay.
That's what it's called. It's called actual.
But not everybody on YouTube got experience.
Wait. So you know how many hours is in 10 years?
Tell me.
That's what I'm saying. It's much more than that auto mechanic, bro. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. I had 10 years of marriage experience with a woman that I didn't marry for the sake of money. I didn't marry for the sake of what's name. I married for the truest essence and definition of marriage that's given to the American man in person. That's what I married for, because I actually cared about her. At 10 years of experience in it, bro. So again, I am an expert when it comes to experience. Have I picked up a pen? No. You need a fucking degree to be married? No. Again, some of the best fucking relationship coaches and advisors and people that give relationship advice, they don't have degrees. They don't have specialties in fucking human sciences or psychology. Again, I'm not trying to shit on people with degrees and all. That's cool. That's fine. That's dandy. But again, that's one of the least actual fucking parameters that actually matters, bro. That's just some shit that's for the.
Okay,
for the
so you say. That's your opinion.
Wait, I gotta give you context example. Even Thomas Sowell says this. Again, these are academics and people that have the credentials tell you that's how much the credentials don't matter. So again, the whole purpose of it is this. At the end of the day, bro, you're telling me I'm not qualified to talk about something that I'm in more experience than you.
No. You kind of paraphrasing. I didn't say you're not qualified to speak on your marriage. I never said that. You're more than qualified to speak on your marriage and what
wait. No, when you write your books, you don't wait. When you write your books, you don't tell niggas how to get the pussy you got. You tell niggas how to get pussy in general, right?
No, I actually don't. See, that's where everybody fuck up. My book, Mo 1, ain't got nothing to do with getting pussy. Well, I ain't gonna say it ain't got nothing to do with it, but that's not the primary focus of Mo 1. The primary focus of my first book, Mo 1, is about being an ultra real, verbally bold, authentic motherfucker. And if you just happen to get some pussy as a result of that, clap, applause, and more power to you. Okay. But that is not the specific focus of Mo 1.
So even in that, so telling a nigga how to be the most alpha, real motherfucker, is that for you or is that in general?
That's for anybody who my advice resonates with.
Thank you. All right, so that's for
anybody who my advice resonates with.
So you're proving my point again.
What am I proving? What am I proving?
You're taking your experience. You're taking your experience and speaking in general and saying that all men can apply it to get something. I'm doing the same thing. I'm telling you, with my experience from being married, these are the things you take into consideration if and when you want to get married. If you want to get married, do your thing. I'm just saying it is not wise. And like I said, that's not even all the intricacies and all the details that I can give you as to the real
age. Who doesn't know that there's some risk involved with getting married? You would have to be a fucking idiot.
My brother, to realize
that you said what?
Okay, so why would you so it's not just risk involved, bro. You're saying like it's a small risk. It's not a small risk, nigga. This is the rest of your life.
What, you gonna die because of marriage? You gonna die?
No, it's not that you're dying, bro. It's marriage? Bro, if you paying for something after the fact that you
know. What's money? Money ain't shit. Money can be replaced. That ain't shit.
Okay, so why is it that men so why is it that men have the highest suicide rate, bro? Awkward silence. Again, most of it is behind either marriage or child or like child issues and shit like that, bro. That's what you guys aren't looking at. And so you like, fuck that. Y'all want to come up with this alpha shit. If you give a fuck about the men, why are you gonna tell shit that men are literally taking their own lives for?
But that's primarily young men who are under the age of 30. Most of these men don't even have kids or aren't married. These men that are committing suicide. So that's not the main cause of men committing suicide.
And on top of that, Jessica, I know I do agree with him because I said this on Bernard's channel. One part I agree with that. We were talking. I forget what we were talking about, but I said a lot of guys want to. Oh, I think we were talking about the concept of being emotional. I said, it's funny how a lot of men will always say women are emotional creatures. Women are emotional creatures. But there was this psychologist that wrote this book. I can't remember his name, but he had this book where he says statistically more men actually commit suicide over broken relationships. He didn't say specifically say marriages. He said broken relationships in general.
That's still my point, though. And again, at the essence, what is a marriage? A marriage is a fucking relationship, bro, with a piece of paper
But yeah,
attached to it.
even unmarried relationships don't end badly. So what can you say? You saying
That's
don't even get involved in an unmarried relationship?
No, and that was my point. At least in an unmarried relationship, bro, you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose in a non-licensed and a non-state sanctioned relationship, bro.
Wait,
You
that's not true.
You get to come and leave whatever the fuck you
Hey, Truth, if you don't mind, could you not cam up? Because you're being a distraction right now, bro.
No, niggas said I was smoking crack.
Actually, Mr. Fantastic, that's not completely true crack. Because if you're cohabitating with someone, depending on the state or country, for like maybe 5 years, the same marriage rules would apply to you. If the relationship was to end, you could still be liable.
You do bring up a good point. So yeah, if you cohabitate in certain places, again, yeah, you could get caught up in a whole fucking what you call that shit? What's the marriage? Common law. You could get caught up in a common law marriage.
Yeah.
But even still, like I said, for the most part, man, that's very, very uncommon. But anyway, we're gonna move this shit around. We got a whole bunch of people that shot to Zero again. Zero, don't give me no more motherfucking money, nigga. For the 10, this is self-masturbatory. Only facts are authoritative. If you organize them in compelling and digestible framework, then sure you can give expert information. Even more so if you have experience. Shout out to Zero. Shout out to Astro. Where you at, Astro? Let me see. Somebody got some heat for the ARC. Astro for the 499. ARC.
How did I go against my Bucks? Be specific. How did I go against my Bucks?
Oh, let me get it out first.
Astro, come up on the panel and be specific instead of saying stupid shit that you can't back up. Get on the fucking panel and shut the fuck up.
Goddamn. Okay, let me get it out. ARC, you're a hypocrite. You went against your books and trying to cover it up. Stop lying, you simp.
You won't call me a simp to my face. I guarantee you. I guarantee you won't. I guarantee you won't.
What are y'all
anywhere, Astro? I guarantee you won't.
All right, shout out to bro.
You get fucked up some big time, brother. You get fucked up.
All right, ARC, calm down. Lionel Richie and ARP got them like that.
That's a spicy meatball.
Red Roy, shout out to y'all, man.
Yeah, Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, go ahead. It's on you. It's on you.
As I was saying.
Yeah, wait 1 second. Hey, I want to disagree with what everyone is saying on this panel, right? Because I think all of you are a little bit mad. But I'll start with the truth, then I'll go to Mr. Fantastic, then I'll go with the light skin.
Don't start, brother.
Light skin guy. No, I'm just doing it to annoy you. Anyways, okay. So first of all, Mr. Truth started with saying something that was logically incorrect. Then Mr. Fantastic also said the same thing, which logically incorrect. I'll explain why. So Mr. Fantastic said that intelligent people don't do things that are unlikely to succeed, right? And you said, actually, no, apparently intelligent people actually focus on things that are likely, irrespective of whether they're likely to succeed, right? Now, both of you are wrong, right? The truth is intelligent people seek things that are, even if they're unlikely to succeed, they understand why they're unlikely to succeed. And then they have solutions that are based on experience or knowledge or understanding that are going to solve it. And unfortunately, you didn't provide anything that was different from what Will Smith did or what any of these other guys did. So that's the reason why what you're saying didn't make sense, Mr. Prince, because you're muted up. But anyway, the point is you didn't really give an actual analysis of why these things break down and how you could solve it in any meaningful way. So hence, you're actually providing the idiot logic, which is I'm going to try this based on my understanding of myself and thinking that I'm special, that I'm going to succeed. But that's not an intelligent thing to do. Now with Mr. Fantastic, the reason why I disagree with him is because you're right. The statistics are the way that you've explained, but you didn't break them down for particular demographics. For example, right? Let's imagine we're back in the old days. We're living in some forest in savannas of, I don't know, Europe in a cave or Africa or something, right? Now, there's not enough food around. There's not enough game for us to hunt. So the smart niggas, what they do is they move. They're nomadic, right? They leave the continent. They go to the greener pastures. The problem, I guess, with your kind of acceptance is that you're focusing too much on the so-called American demographics, right? For example, maybe again, you have certain homely comforts that you prefer, those kinds of people, which makes sense. Then of course, do that. But for example, if you want to find some Muslim person, right? And they don't even have to be like strong Muslim. They just have to come from a Muslim background. These people are already kind of controlled by their culture, meaning something like divorce isn't even in the conversation, statistically speaking. Obviously, there's some of everything, right? Most of them, and I mean like over 90% of them, won't be engaging in that kind of behavior. So if you do that, you already kind of found a self-managed, self-maintained system whereby the religion itself will kind of control this issue over here. Same thing with certain people from certain countries. I mean, this is why I would personally never, get with someone from UK or America, because they're already culturally destroyed individuals that have, kind of been ingrained in their system. I would actually specifically find someone who's Muslim, specifically from a particular country, from a particular region. I'm not going to mention which ones, but somewhere in East Africa. The point is, and even if you, again, they could be from here, right? Like, but the point is, you can control the system if you figure out why they don't succeed. One of the main reasons why they don't succeed is because we don't need each other anymore, right? Back in this dude's grandfather's day, people needed each other. There was no welfare kind of system in check yet. And there was no, for example, right now, you don't have to need someone, right? You could be fine by yourself. So that aspect of relationships is why they actually function better back then. And the whole kind of social shaming category. Now that we're living in pure hedonistic chaos where we can seek whatever we want, of course, people are going to go out. So the only solution really is finding someone that is self-regulated and maintained. So so the issue there with, I guess what you said, Mr. Fantastic, is you didn't break it down to which kinds of groups obviously are in this issue, and the Prince dude, he doesn't seem to understand the mechanisms that apparently intelligent people would know if he's going to seek it. And with Alan Roger Curry, I mean, this guy, I don't know, but that's my piece.
All right, well, let me shout out to Brian W for the 5. Thanks for the entertaining stream. Fantastic, you the funniest in the space for real. Hey, I try, man. I try. I apologize to ARC for pissing off his light skinned jeans, but you'll be all right, brother. It's all love and respect. Sober Rider speaks. What oil you use for the chair, girl? Shut up. Shout out to Sober Rider speaks. I tell you, one thing you gonna get is these jokes, bro. We definitely got these jokes for you. And that's it. So, all right, let me say this real quick. To Sergeant Ward, listen, bro. I did cover that actually. I didn't think I covered it here, but you repeated the same exact thing that I did. I went over that and I purposely said that you have extenuating circumstances depending on the differences in things. Of course, I'm not going to cover the whole Muslim thing as much because we're talking about America. We're talking about over here, Western living and lifestyle, like So that's why I didn't go into much detail concerning the whole Muslim non-Muslim thing. But yeah, man, everything else you covered, I understand, but you pretty much repeated what I said. But we're gonna move it around and I'll get back to you. Ancient Man, it's on you, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Go ahead. Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay. What I'm finding is I'm looking at both spectrums of age, and I'm finding blue pills on both sides, and it's amazing. The younger brother, I find it's very it's fun watching that your zeal and zest, but without experience. I love it. But what you have to understand is these women have all the power. You can say what you want until you sign that paperwork. And, she's nice and good until she's telling you what she's going to do and what she's not going to do. You go to work all day, then you come home and you got to do dishes and everything else. And you got to do, the house cleaning. And there's really nothing you can do about it because you signed that paperwork, you bought the cow, and now you got to deal with whatever she says. All this alpha stuff, like I'm hearing it, but y'all obviously don't understand the laws. And right now we're arguing something with an 80% failure rate. Like, what are we arguing for? Like you're trying to appease an individual that really can only be satisfied as she's satisfied. Chasing after her, trying to make her happy, all that nonsense. It's fun until she's tired. And you can be the alpha dude, but when she's tired of you, you're done. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I've seen this with my dad, and I'm where I am the way I am because of watching my dad go through the hell of dealing with the courts, watching him get kicked around by my sister's mother. And so there was no way that I was going to enter into any situations, contracts, agreements with females, understanding that I had no real power dealing with these females, and I'm happy. I'm happier for it. I have complete control of my life, and I love that. But arguing marriage and trying to get men to commit to marriage these days is not a good thing, and men must know and understand the risk that they could take getting involved with these females. On my page, I have stories of men who have given it up. I even have a friend who said that his wife used him as a part of his bucket list, as her bucket list, and she wanted a child just for the bucket list. So you know, it's amazing. Yeah.
So do you believe that because your father had a failed marriage, that everybody's gonna have a failed marriage?
No, I don't believe that. I believe that I believe in the 80% clip. I believe in the 80% clip that men are getting kicked to the curb, signing contracts, and marriage failing. It's not about emotions for me, bro. It's not about emotion. I'm done with emotions dealing with a female. I'm done. There's no emotion to it. I'm too old to be going off of my emotions on how I might feel about a female, and understanding that one day if she gets tired, that's it. So no, I won't be signing any contracts because right now I'm just saving for. Huh?
Do you have any
children? That's on purpose.
Okay.
No, that's on purpose. That's on purpose. Once again, that's on purpose. Understanding the control system, understanding control, watching my dad get kicked around, paying child support, not be given custody, not be given visitation. That was something that I was good on. I was really good on that. I was really good on the whole situation, watching my sister's mom just basically run over him and him not having any control in the situation. Things have gotten a little better, but that's, to me, it's still not worth it.
All right. Shout out to Yusuf Media for the 5. Remember, it's the men that you are the romantics, not the women. Appreciate you, brother. Gary, what you got on this, bro? Gary Grant, thank you for coming through, brother.
Hello, brothers.
What's going on with
Mr. Curry, you're my age, bruh. Don't get so emotional when people call you names. You used to play the dozen back in the game. Young fella that's been in the relationship for 2 years, you have no clue about marriage.
Okay, Gary Grant, let me, before you go on to the marriage piece, just on Planet Earth. Yeah, dude, I used to be a stand-up comic, for those that don't know, an award-winning one at that. So I know about playing the dozens. But right, tell me, if when you was young, you didn't have at least one guy that you knew in middle school, high school, that had this one joke, and let's say the first 2 to 3 times it was funny. You did genuinely laugh. But then he kept saying it over and over and over and over and over and over. If you haven't experienced that, most people I know have. I've had different buddies in my life where they had this constantly running. Anyway, when I get longer, that's how I feel about some of the niggas on YouTube when it comes to the whole light skin shit. Like, again, this brother named Tony Maceo. He the first few times he used to crack light skin jokes with me, I laughed. I was like, okay, haha, it's funny. But then he went on like 15, 20 times. Like every time I was on a panel with him, he had to come out with some light skin joke. And one time I just snapped the fuck off on him, and it pretty much, you can say, ended our friendship.
Hell, I got a fix for that. Get a tan, nigga. But anyway, go ahead, Gary Grant. Go ahead, you got it.
First of all, bruh, words should never get you up. You 50 odd. That's number one. It don't matter if you see how I grew up. Hold on, let me finish. Take your time. When I grew up, you see, if we found out a word bothered you, everybody used it. And if you're going to lose your cool and fight because somebody called you a name, you'd be probably dead.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, Gary. Let's not stick on that, man. Let's talk to the topic. We good.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
With the marriage thing, there, little brothers, don't get married. Roger Curry's right about one thing: get married if you're going to have children, because we have enough bastards in this world. But otherwise, as a young cat, don't even think about getting married. Get your paper, stack it. By the time you're 30, 35, you should have a nice nest egg, as I say. Then you pick, choose, and refuse. First of all, most of these relationships break up because men are with women they don't even fucking like. She might have a fat ass, she look good and everything, but you really don't like the bitch because she gives you a fucking hard time. Find a woman that deals with your program. As Fantastic said, experience is the greatest teacher.
Mhm.
I think I have probably more experience in relationship than everybody here. I've been in one for 23 years with the same woman. I'm not married. Don't believe in it because I don't want kids.
You're wrong on that, bro. I got the most experience.
And how many years you been with your girl?
Married 23, 29 years altogether.
Congratulations. You got kids, not from me. I've been retired from I've been 45 years old. My lady's never worked a day in her fucking life. Because when I got a woman, you're with my program. I don't know about this arguing and this girl saying I'm gonna. If she wanna leave, fucking leave. Pussy is there for everybody. I don't know why you guys put such a high price on it.
Facts. All facts.
It's that simple.
Facts.
You guys go ahead, little brothers.
Oh, who is that?
Can I jump in here a second? Fantastic.
No, Fedodos, we got an order, bro. Let me get it's Zero, Jessica X, then you, and the general. Go ahead, Zero. It's on you, brother. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up?
Loud and clear, man. Go ahead.
Oh, all good. Okay, so I guess the first thing we got to do is acknowledge like a few facts about marriage, because that's where the whole problem breaks down. Everybody has their own different definition of what it is. So if you go to, and I don't really go there, but you can take a visit to an actual legal university, Cornell, law.cornell.edu, or you can go to American Legal Institute. So anyway, you got to acknowledge a few facts that require understanding of what, at a base and essential level, what makes a marriage. Conditions of marriage are that the institution basically promotes monogamy and sexual exclusivity, and it's not gender blind, but it's color blind. And so there's a reason why, people's skin color have nothing to do with what kind of kids, with the fact that they can actually have kids. But there is a component of it where it's like, I don't want to get into the whole L. Gibbet shit, but the sexual differences with men and women is what is central to a marriage. Regardless of race, they can have kids, but without the sexual difference, you can't have kids, which is what marriage is for, to promote the continuation of your society. I mean, literally, that is what marriage is for. Anybody defining it outside of that is wrong and stupid. So with respect to everybody's liberty, the government recognizes, protects, and promotes marriage. And they do this because it is the ideal institution for making kids and raising kids. However, adults can do whatever they want, whatever marriage they want, because one of the things is, contrary to popular belief, marriage between same-sex people and all the rest of it is not illegal. So that whole contract with the government is literally about kids, and that is it. That's all marriage is for. It's for kids. And this is why you have to sign a business contract where if you break up, you are sanctioned for that, because you are literally, as defined by law, you're harming society when you break up a marriage, because your job when you get married is to have and raise kids. So how does that work in the social reality of marriage? Is basically there's a scope and intelligibility of norms. You have to have like these normalities in marriage, like, and the government facilitates those norms, like again, monogamy and sexual exclusivity. So the marriage contracts are law. Law affects the culture. Culture affects the beliefs. Beliefs affect the actions, because the law teaches the principles, and then it shapes the marriage and the public understanding of what that marriage is for both individuals. So all the people talking about me, individual responsibility, and as an institution and that's for like the greater society at large. So recap, government promotes marriage to make men and women responsible to each other and kids. Why? Because promoting those norms of monogamy and sexual exclusivity is the whole purpose. The whole purpose. And those norms help people to basically be responsible for each other. It's really what it's about. Well, so on the contrary to what ARC said earlier, betas created marriage. Alphas stayed in a state of perpetual war with each other in the environment because they cannot tame their environment because they're too busy fighting each other. They can't cooperate to do that. They're too busy competing with each other over pussy. What happened was betas created weapons to kill off alphas, but then they can't make the same mistakes as alphas, so they have to cooperate. In order to cooperate, they have to divide the pussy, which is how marriage institutions got formed in the first place. Because without betas, you don't have a society. So that's how that works. Everybody clear?
Loud.
How did you say contrary to ARC when I broke most of what you just said down in my book, The Beta Male Revolution?
No, you were talking about how betas were weak and all of that other shit. And
no, I said beta males shouldn't get married because they're going to be browbeaten by their wives.
No. Beta males should get married because that's how society got formed in the first place.
Well, I talked about a lot of stuff in my book. That's all I wanted to point out.
No, I understand that, but you can't have society without betas because if you have a bunch of alphas, all they're going to do is have a bunch of polygamous harems and fighting each other over those polygamous harems. They'll stay in a state of perpetual war. They can't even build a society to protect themselves against the environment. So, I mean, that's how that
harem
works.
sound fun. Okay, never mind.
Right. But then you have to worry about the other alphas ready to kill you and take your bitches.
And any bitch can be took by hook or crook. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Hey, I got 300 some motherfuckers in here, man. Hey, make sure y'all like this shit, bro. Get the likes up, all that good shit. Jessica X is in the building. What's up?
Unmute yourself, Jessica.
There you go. Yeah.
Was he going to say something?
No, it's on you. That's what I'm saying. It's your turn.
Yeah.
Why are there
So my problem with it tends to be where you have certain people advising other people not to get married, or this whole notion that if you get married, you're a simp, right? I think just take a look, stand back and take a look at the men who are saying that if you get married, that makes you a simp. And what they're doing is advising their way of life as being better, right? So, say no to marriage, say no to this, that, the other, live like me. Whereas when I use them as an example, they're clearly unhappy. They're clearly bitter. The ones that are going around to call people simps for doing that, they're like the most unhappy people there are. To me, they're more unhappy than the men who have been through divorces. That's just one thing. Another thing is...
Amen, Jessica. I had to say that.
You have these people who are using their parents' example as to why people shouldn't get married. I saw my parents go through this, I saw my parents go through that. There are some of us who saw our parents have a healthy marriage, and therefore we can see on both sides what it takes to make a marriage last and how to make it work effectively. Some of us know what it takes. We have that real life example. So it's not upon you, just because you've seen it not work out, to tell somebody else don't do it because for your parents it didn't work out. My whole thing. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No. Well, let me just say the same thing. It works two ways though, Jessica. Even though your parents' marriage is successful and all these other things, listen, a lot of people don't. Man, do you know how much shit like people hide from their kids? I'm just saying. I mean, man, it's been people literally. We have stories too. Again, and we talk about this in totality. There's still a 33% false paternity rate. You know what I'm saying? So a third of children are growing up in households that of their dad's not even their dad. That just goes to show you.
A third of children where a paternity test is taken.
That's what I'm saying.
This is where we have to be.
Well, hold on, wait. But actually, Jessica, like I said, that helps my point even more, because the minority of people 10%. Take what? Yeah, the minority of people take paternity tests. You see what I'm saying?
But you're taking the paternity test because there's already doubt there as to whether you're the father.
No. Hold on. Let me tell you. No. It's not even about doubts. Listen, Jessica, a lot of this stuff is and it's not just marriages. Again, women claim that men are the fathers of children a lot of the time. Most of these fathers, again, like the guy was in the UK. Remember this epic story that came out last year about the dude that had 3 children, count them 3, that were all grown men, and he had no idea that he was a grown man. I know that is the exception as the rule, but again, 33%, that number would be even bigger if more dudes were to do paternity tests at birth. And again, this is why you have men now coming out saying that paternity tests should be mandatory regardless, married or not, because there's been too many men that have been married and come to find out that, oh shit, this ain't even my baby. So that's just one of the very few examples of where using your perfect parents' marriage as an example just isn't even isn't the thing too.
Fantastic, straightforward question. You think marriage should be abolished?
Abolished? No. Again, no. Listen, this is my thing, because it can work for some people, even if it's the minority of people. And I agree with you guys wholeheartedly. And again, the ideal situation from any child should be a marriage, at the very least 2 parents, mother and father, who deeply, truly care about each other, not no cheating, not no beating, none of those things. So a young black child, or any child for that matter, can see the healthy interaction between a man and a woman, so they know how to grow up and be what they need to be for their spouse.
Wait,
and
but
the
Mr.
cycle
Plastic,
continues.
I got an issue with that, because if the kid grows up in a healthy so-called relationship, that kid's going to grow up blue-pilled, because that's the problem. If you bring up a blue-pilled kid in a society that's broken, you're actually ending up breaking that kid even more, because when they grow up, they're going to realize what their parents brought them up with, this really nice, kind, caring environment, is not the real world.
Well, so you bring up a great point. But again, let me answer ARC's first. Let me get to Jessica's thing. Jessica, I agree with you too. Just because you get married to a woman, or even because you're in a relationship with a woman and you a simp, that's lame as hell. Again, when you start saying that to me, it sounds like to me that you know what I mean, you have like you're capping, you're lying. Because I know you like women, I know you like pussy, and I know majority eventually, like Zero said, shot at Zero. Eventually, Roger Curry's example. No matter how much your pussy level can be above 9,000, nigga, eventually you're gonna settle down. The majority of people, of course, there is that 1%. You can be the 1%, nigga. But the majority of people are going to settle down for a relationship. They're going to settle down for a serious long-term relationship when they're you know what I'm saying, in their older ages and things. So yeah, I agree with you on that. I'm not with this whole shit about what motherfuckers is calling dudes simp because they want a relationship or they want to get married. Okay, but go ahead, Jessica. Continue. Go ahead.
My last point is that we're looking at, people are saying the law, and I get that the law, when it comes to marriage, is heavily swayed in favor of women. I get that, but the whole system is heavily swayed in favor of women. Not just marriage law, but we're talking about work law in general is it's swaying in the favor of women. So unless you're a guy who is saying, I'm completely abstaining from women, I'm not having sex, I'm not working with them, I'm not entertaining them at all, then you're always at the risk of being hit by, the laws favoring women. You're not going to go out there and tell a man don't work because a woman can, make an allegation against you at work. You're not going to tell him not to do that. You're not going to tell a guy never, sleep with women because she can put a false charge on you.
I got a point to respond to this one.
Well, hold on, massaging word just real quick. And again, Jessica, this is what I'm saying. Is a marriage even is it a requirement? This is what I'm saying. If you're going to get I don't believe in state sanctioned marriage. There are alternatives and things you can do in order to be married. People do spiritual bonds. People do all these other things. Do you just have to have a piece of paper and be recognized by the state in order for you guys to be together, for you to be in a relationship? No, you don't. You don't need that. So this is what I'm saying. If a woman is with you, she cares about you, she loves you, she's down for your program, why should she require that you have to be married in order for you guys to do that? If she really truly cares about you as a man, and she understands that, hey, I understand why he has these reservations for this, because he is right. And again, I've seen the perp. I love you, baby. I'll never this, I'll never that. And lo and behold, that bitch becomes a nigga's worst nightmare. Okay. So again, if this woman is truly for you and you're going to take care of her, you're going to provide for her, you're going to love her, Why do you need the state to recognize your relationship? That's my only question. That would be my thing. And I'm with you. We need
I agree
healthy.
with you 100%.
We need healthy
State
relationships.
involvement is to
My bad.
sanction the people if they break up. That's what it's for. That's what the state involvement is for. It's to sanction both parties if they break up.
Yeah, you have to get permission, and they gotta get the state gotta get their cut. Again, that's why you have to pay them a fee, and that's why they want you to even be involved with the custody situation, so they can pretty much. That's why they encourage women to get child support. But Jessica, did you have anything else? And then I'm gonna kick it to Massage and War. Then we'll go to fatal dose and the general.
Wait, real quick, can I add up one point? So y'all, what y'all got to understand is you don't marry the person that you're with under United States law. You do not marry the person that you are with. You both marry the state, and then your child becomes a ward of the state. Which is why if either one of you are deemed unfit parents, they take the child. You do not marry the person that you are with under United States law. You both marry the state. So if you actually do love each other and all that other shit, then just get a non-state sanctioned marriage. If you can't do that, then you really don't have the game you're talking about. Or on the other side, your woman doesn't actually
love you. She don't care. Exactly. She wants that control. She wants to be able to switch up at any moment and say, hey, nigga, if you don't get in line, I'm gonna run down here to these white folks or down to this courthouse, and I'm gonna take half of your shit or whatever you got, what little bit it may be.
So y'all not anti-marriage, y'all anti-U.S. government sanctioned marriage.
State. Yeah, I am anti-state sanctioned marriage. I have no problem whatsoever with a man and a woman living together, cohabitating. And again, even in that, nigga, do your research and make sure you're not in no common law thing and all that. Be safe. This is what I'm saying.
If the state sanction was so great, then prenups wouldn't be necessary. And
exactly.
Newsflash, prenups are toilet paper. The reason the reason why is because of what they call the Duluth model. It's not an actual law; it's just guidelines. So basically, the family court follows the Duluth model, which assumes that women are always the victim at all times, no matter what. And the man is always the aggressor at all times. It's automatic. You go into court, and it is automatically assumed that you're the aggressor and the woman is the victim. Thus, she signed the marriage under duress, no matter what. So if she files for divorce or you file for divorce, it doesn't matter which one of you file for divorce. Under the Duluth model, it's the second you go into family court, which is a sentencing hearing, the woman is assumed to have signed the marriage contract under duress, which makes your prenup null and void.
Null and void.
So all of the protections that you think you have, you don't.
So fantastic. Before you got married, you said you was on love at the age of 26. Let's say at the age of 25, you heard somebody on a YouTube panel like Zero. Would you have changed your mind on getting married?
Yes, I would have.
You would have.
Yeah, I wouldn't have did it. I wouldn't have did it the state sanction route. And that was the whole thing. Because there was other options and things that I just were not aware of. And I think the most people don't. And that's purposely done, like Zero said, because the state benefits when you get married. The state needs people to get married. That way, taxes, children, all these things, man. So yeah, if I would have knew what I knew now, I wouldn't have gotten married. I probably would have never ever had a state sanctioned marriage, but I definitely would have did it at 26. One thing that me and my ex agreed upon is that we both got married way too early. That's another big thing.
That's the difference with. Well, let me say this real quick, Jessica. That's the difference between me. I can't speak for nobody else in this YouTube space. But when I get kind of semi-triggered when I have discussion about marriage is when young guys be talking to me like I'm some clueless motherfucker. I literally know all the risk involved with getting married. All of them, plus some. And I still chose to do it. So somebody like Zero, I'm not saying he's giving bad information, but somebody like Zero's information would have never changed my mind. I was gonna get married. If somebody said, Alan, if you get married 2 years from now, 99% chance you're gonna be dead, I would have got married. That's how strongly I felt about getting married.
Yeah, but hold on. And I'm not saying this to be funny. I'm not saying this to be funny, ARC. But if you knew you were gonna die in 2 years, you're playing with house money. One. And two, like I said, I pose the same question to you. You had a 55-year-old man say the zero. Okay, is one different thing. But if you put yourself back in your 20s, and again, which wouldn't even been a case for you because you weren't even concerned or considering marriage in your 20s and 30s because, like you said, you were on the hunt for just random pussy. So that's so it's like the argument you're trying to bring, your whole lifestyle contradicts it, and that's what we're saying. Niggas not really trying to say you're a hypocrite, but you let your life goes against everything that's within the confines of marriage.
About my life as it relates to me getting
married. Well, that's what I said. That's why I don't want to say it's hypocritical, but that's what I'm saying. It's contradictory. Your lifestyle.
How's it contradictory?
Because again, you waited till you had the opportunity at your 20s and in your 30s, even your 40s, but you waited until there was not enough interest, enough draw, enough this, and whatever it may have been for you to leave the pleasure of your freedom and non-risk or very low lack of risk with women for the sake of marriage.
No, that's what we're saying.
No. He said he wanted to have a child.
My 40s, I was actually, I had always said, people who know me realize it said this. It's this simple. My first priority was a child more so than marriage. I always wanted to be a father, but I felt very strongly about I didn't want to be no child's baby daddy. I have really hardcore, strong feelings about that. So I told all my friends and acquaintances, I am not going to have no children until I meet a woman that I think is marriage material. But the problem was in my 40s, I didn't meet any women that I personally felt were marriage material. My wife, sad to say, is almost the first woman I met that I genuinely felt was marriage material. If I would have met a woman that I felt was marriage material before my wife, 99% chance I would have got married at least in my 40s. Again, I doubt seriously I would ever get married.
So Fantastic was right. So I was right. So my assessment.
I didn't contradict you. What I'm arguing is
no, not about that. Not about that. Hold on. About my assessment that I said in Bernard Riley's chat. Again, this is the first woman, and I'll take the scared part out of it. But you just said this live on air. This is exactly what I wrote in Bernard Riley's chat. For all your years or whatnot, what have you, this is the first woman that you've ever taken serious enough to marry her and give your last name. Now, being that's a major thing for a guy like you that's able to have any and every woman you've ever wanted to settle down for one woman, you have to deal with the reality that that woman could leave you. Not only could she leave you, she could leave you with you guys' child. That's gonna bother you to some degree, brother.
Or anybody think I wouldn't know that? That's what I'm asking.
Well, that's and again, okay, but again, like I said, bro, it's plenty of shit that we see every day, ARC, and you have no idea there's like a danger. You understand that? That's some shit, like some military shit, right? So in the military, they teach you like on the F-18 aircraft or certain parts of the helicopter. Right? I work on helicopters, right? So in the helicopter, to a motherfucker that don't know, how would you think you would walk into a helicopter as the helicopter is turning? How do you walk into a helicopter as the helicopter is running? Do you know?
Do I know?
Yeah, do you know?
No.
And I'm not saying that. No, I'm not saying this is a got you, but this is what I'm trying to tell you. So this is what I'm telling you, ARC. It's the perfect. You walk in at what? At 9 and 3 and 9. You perpendicular. That's at the highest arc to where the rotor blades, if somebody was to move them, can't drop down and chop your fucking head off. Okay. There's a video on the internet that you can actually see this happen to a person. A motherfucker that's been in the military a long ass time. He got into the fucking rotor arc where he wasn't supposed to be. The fucking rotor blades motherfucking dropped down, chopped his head clean motherfucking off. A motherfucker that's supposed to know this, that's trained to know this, ARC. So what I'm telling you is this. People do shit every day in their everyday life, bro, and no one brings it up until they bring it to their attention. And then when you bring it to their attention, they're like, oh shit. Okay? So me saying that to you, I wasn't even saying it as what's the name? I was kind of jabbing at you because me going back and forth. But again, this is just a reality of, like I said, bro, that is a possibility. You know it before another nigga to point out.
I could get in my car today and a drunk driver could hit me. I know that.
Yeah, but that's totally no. That's totally different. That's something that you Because again, that's not a person that has sentimental value in a close relationship. We're talking relationships, RC. You ARC, you're comparing apples to oranges. Those two separate dynamics, bro.
Okay.
I'm talking about a person that you've dedicated your name to, your life and your legacy to, because you have a child with her. She can just pick up and leave you tomorrow at the snap of a hat. Okay. Another man, you knowing that is one thing, but another man saying that to you is triggering, bro. Especially for you when you just admitted exactly what I said to you.
It's triggering to me because I'll be honest, man. You can call this egotistical. I don't like no young person talking to me like they know more than I do. I just don't.
Cool.
I don't like no young person talking to me like, hey, ARC, I need to drop this knowledge on you when I got 5 books on my resume. I know all this shit, man. I know when it comes to male, female relations, I ain't saying I know everything in the world.
Man.
I ain't know everything in the world.
No, man. We can learn from young fellas. I disagree.
And again, hold on. Again, at the end of the day, RC, Fantastic was right, and I'm glad you admitted it on the air, brother. Let me read these super chats. I catch up. Fatal dose for the 5. But Jessica, you're fired. If you can get another job, you can get divorced. You're stuck with child support and alimony. This is true. Shout out to my man Charles Merchant, banging someone else's wife and suddenly got lonely.
Yeah, I fucked a lot of other men's bitches. See, so
that's
what?
I'm just saying, karma is a bitch.
So
just saying, karma's a bitch. ARC, you never know. ARC did. Hold on, ARC did it the smart way. If a man wants to get married, be like ARC. Shout out to the big homie, Indiana, and this bitch. Yeah, exactly. Hey, and we hold on. We gotta give a shout out to the ultimate light skinned nigga, the light skinned of the light skinned. This nigga is albino. Shout out to my man Ike that hit me with the motherfucking 200 ball on the goddamn cash app, man. Appreciate Ike, bro.
Appreciate Ike. I know about Ike.
Yeah, man. That nigga more light skinned than all of y'all. But we got Fatal Dose. Go ahead, Fatal Dose, bro. You've been waiting patiently. Appreciate you, man. Go ahead.
Can I quickly make one more point, right? Because I was going to say it, but then
go ahead.
Wanted to say something. Just quickly in response to Fatal Dose. I mean, if I play the game that people like to play about marriage, it's not that simple. You can't just find another job that's going to be on your resume. It's going to be hard for you to get another job once you've got something there that says you've been harassing women, and you're not going to be able to get a job for ages. So I could play that game too. But then just lastly, I wanted to talk about demographics. Everyone likes to throw around this stat of 80% divorce rate, 80% divorce rate. That is overall. Anyone who is smart, if you're going into something, you're going to analyze the risks, right? So you said when you got married, your wife was, I think, 20, you were 26. The stats show that when women marry after 25, the divorce rate goes down. The stats say that when a person is more educated, the divorce rates go down. The stats show that when somebody comes from a certain culture, i.e. African, Muslim, basically a culture with a strong preference towards staying in marriage, the divorce rates go down. So the 80% divorce rate might be for someone else, but it's not that for me. I'm not going into something with a risk of 80% divorce, and neither are a lot of other people. What we don't talk about is how when somebody has 3-4 failed marriages under their belt, that goes down into the divorce stats as 4 separate divorces. They bump up the divorce stats. There are a lot of things that you have to look into when we're throwing out this 80% divorce rate. It can, at first glance, be deceiving, but it's something that people always use.
Yeah, man, and I don't think it's actually high as 80%. It's somewhere between 60 and 70 and some odd. So yeah, it's not 80. It's definitely not 80%.
42%.
It's a little higher than that. But America wise, we talking worldwide, I don't know, but American stats is somewhere between.
The 80% is the bailout rate of women. Women file for divorce 80% of the time of the divorces. That's the thing about statistics. You gotta understand what it is you're reading.
No, hold on. So there's the marital rate, then there's the divorce rate, and then there's the who files for divorce rate. And then there's generations. And so it's like millennials, only 30% of millennials are married, and we don't know. They get divorced less than the later generations, but the assumption is that give it time and they'll get divorced. Right now, people are
at 50%. I was wrong. Sorry.
The 80% is significant because that is the rate at which women bail out of marriages. So it could be 50%. That's not the issue. Wow. The issue is that women file for divorce 80% of the time.
Women are fickle.
All of that doesn't negate it. It doesn't negate what I'm saying, though.
Here's the thing that cracks me up about
behind those statistics on the bailouts. The reasons are because
All of that doesn't negate what I said.
The reasons are because, which means I'm bored. I don't want you anymore. I'm fucking the pool boy. Whatever the reason is, because. So
and the man
that's why the 80% is significant. It's not just that it's being used wrong. It's the fact that you're bailing out at an 80% rate because.
I think there's another point here. So there is the first marriage rate, which is like 42% or whatever, and then there's a second marriage rate, which is like 60. Then there's a third marriage rate, which is like 75. Then you add all of that up, then it gets like a 60%. So it depends on if it's the first, second, or third, as well.
I'm about to bounce off. So I'm gonna just say this comment real quick, and then I'm gone. But it's gonna co-sign what Jessica said earlier. I hear a lot of guys that are anti-marriage, maybe too strong, but they're not too far from that. But yet, there's a lot of guys, particularly here on the space on YouTube, and even to a lesser extent, I've seen people in real life, guys. They be talking about don't get married, and this is all the detriments of marriage. But these motherfuckers who ain't married, they ain't got a life that I would emulate. They always angry, always bitter, always bitching about women. Particularly here in this space, I don't hardly see no married dudes on panels bitching about women. It's all these unmarried motherfuckers and a few divorced motherfuckers that be bitching about women. Shit, it's like it would make me, if I was young, I would be like, well, shit, why do I want to be like your unmarried ass? Your unhappy, unmarried ass. Give me some more. If marriage ain't the ticket, what is the ticket? Is it pussy? Because I get all the pussy a motherfucker can get.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Now, why are they bitter and pissed off if they're divorced, unmarried, and all the rest of it? There's a reason for that, right?
Of course there's a reason that I write about those reasons.
If they were wronged in their marriage and then they were bitter and pissed off about it, they don't have a right to be pissed off and bitter about that?
I ain't saying they don't have a right, but I'm saying if their argument is don't get married, I'm saying why would anybody want to emulate their life if they as Jessica said earlier, a lot of these guys who are unmarried are not happy. I'm not saying they don't have
you should not emulate false equivalency. You shouldn't want to emulate somebody's life if they're unhappy, but you can't equate that to somebody being unhappy and because they got
screwed over.
That's not.
No, but we're saying that a lot of those guys are unmarried. So it's
I know
I'm
married and I'm happy.
Screwed over. I'm out. These guys have never been married.
Hope you stay the same, brother. Real quick, Zero, don't give me no more fucking money, man. Goddamn. I'll take the demographic argument, false equivalency. Appreciate your brother for the $5. Got Grinch in the building again. Shout out to Grinch. He said, "Truth wears cologne." For skin Futurama. Oh God. Jessica, let me say this. I'm gonna jump to you. Then we got my man Fatal Dose. We gotta get to him. Listen, man. I'm with y'all. Listen, I'm this whole complaining about women thing. I'm not necessarily for that, but at the same time, I'm not gonna stop a brother from venting. Again, man. A lot of dudes, bro. There was a time, bro, where nigga, all I could do was go lift weights and go like yell in the car. Okay, and that shit was relieving. What we cannot do is shame men for expressing themselves and you a bitch, you a simp, you whining, you crying, all this shit. Bro, I have seen dudes that have really love this woman, worship the ground she walk on. You can call him blue pill, you can call him whatever the fuck he is. At the end of the day, that's a man. Gave this woman everything he could give her out of life, and the woman fucked him over, bro. To the point of where nigga was thinking about ending his own life. But but thankfully, like I said, spoke to him. Hey, it is what it is, brother. Hey, man, it's a bitch. It's plenty more pieces in the sea. He's good to go. He's still here to this day. Okay, so I would never, ever tell a motherfucker, man, that's here, wherever he is, whether he's on the fucking internet, the nigga could be in the goddamn a Greyhound bathroom. I don't care, man. If nigga want to get his shit off and say whatever the hell he got to say in order to save him or somebody else, let him do it. This space is about, this is still the manosphere. So we not gonna fucking tell niggas shut the fuck up. You whining, you crying, you bitching, you moaning, you doing any of that shit, bro, because he's telling his story. All right, he's telling you what the fuck happened to him. And again, if a lot of the times, man, if you give the nigga the chance, bro, he'll explain it to you. I explained my story to motherfuckers the same motherfucking time over with the shit that my baby mom. Man, my baby mom stole my sperm, nigga. I got twins here on this earth that I love dearly. Kill and die for them. But I'm not bitter or angry or anything else because I motherfucking tell you how they came about and how they got here.
You got Victor Newman?
But
Fantastic. You're making. I was just going to say, you're
no, go
making
ahead, go
the
ahead.
exact point that I was making. So I'm not telling people, and I think this is what Ark was saying as well. We're not telling people not to tell your story, not to get it off your chest, not to do all of that. We're saying get it off your chest, give your opinion. If you don't want to get married, fine. It's no skin of my nose, do you? But then don't police other people or shame other people. That would be no different to a guy, getting off his chest what he needs to. And I'm like, oh, shut up, stop crying, stop whinging.
But no,
You shouldn't be doing that either way.
It's very those. But I think you got you. I think I know you guys are over exaggerating the number of brothers that do that. I don't even say that.
I
said
see marriage shaming all the time.
Well,
Anytime someone brings up they want to get married, it happens.
You're saying, wait,
y'all also conflating personal stories versus like societal benefit.
How so?
Like were you just were talking about like people getting it off their chest? What if somebody's giving people info? Like if you give somebody information on how fucked up something is, sure they can make that decision to do it, but giving them the information isn't somebody whining or anything like that. That's the problem. When y'all argue these things, y'all go to the personal level and try to make it seem like everybody's just bent out of shape over some shit.
I didn't say whining.
No, but that's how you framed it.
No, it wasn't.
No.
And again, hold up. No. Jessica, that's what I'm saying. You didn't say that. That's what ARC said. That's what I'm saying. That's a man.
She just framed her argument as like she didn't mention anything about like the information being of societal benefit or anything like that. It was just all like, yeah, get your personal story off, whine about it, blah, 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 but don't tell everybody else what to do.
No, the reason I said that is because Fantastic was talking about how he told the personal story of him getting, was it sperm jacked? And that's why I said, listen, and people needing to get it off their chest. And that's why I used that term to follow up what he'd said. But listen, you can give information out that can be of, societal benefit. You can give it out, but then don't try and force that information on someone. If you give that information out and somebody says, oh, it's not for me, don't start saying simp, she's going to leave you, she's going to do this, she's going to do that. That's what happens.
Wait. We agree upon that. That's no problem. But the whole thing I'm saying is the majority of dudes don't do that. The whole simp shit. That's the majority of people aren't saying that. That's few and far between. And ultimately, again, the whole thing is for niggas just don't know. Like I said, you can't. You're never gonna have this conversation with family. You're never gonna have this conversation even with a woman that you're trying to talk to. Women don't even know these stats, Jessica. You know this shit. They're oblivious to them, and they don't care. And if you tell them, they get offended because, oh shit, this nigga knows and he not really trying to get married, or he not, oh shit, now what the fuck, what can I do now? They're trying to figure out a way now to either convince you to why you should do it, or they're trying to, find another way, all these other things, or may even consider fucking moving on to the next motherfucker because you know the game, you know the truth and the facts about in absolute detail. So that's the whole thing that I'm saying.
This is also cop out double speak shit, because first of all, it's then like, okay, don't force this or that opinion on people and whatnot, even if it is of societal benefit. Whereas if somebody doing something stupid and you tell them they're doing something stupid, that's somehow wrong. But then on the other hand, the advocates for the shit are doing the exact same thing you're saying don't do. Yeah. You understand that?
I never said I agree with that. Listen, me, for example, I want to get married, but when somebody sits up here and says they don't want to get married, they don't want to do this, do you hear me forcing them to take my stance? No.
But you guys are advocating hard as shit all the time for people to get married. You're just not, when something is against, it's always going to seem more forceful. When you force something, it looks like you're not being forceful, but you are.
No. That's just how it works. I give my personal opinion on it, and I don't take away that right from anyone else. I don't do that. So if somebody gives a stance that I disagree with,
arguing against.
If somebody else says something that I don't agree with, I let them have it. If you don't want to get married, fine. And that's the whole premise that I came up here with. It wasn't pro-marriage. It wasn't against marriage, right? Yeah. I was saying, stop policing other people's decision to get married. Or more importantly, stop shaming other people's decision to get married. That was my point.
Again, like I said, I always say like, hey, if I don't know what this would be considered, but hey, if you're getting married in 2021 as a man in the United States of America, state sanctioned marriage, you're a fool. There are plenty of alternatives. Again, you can have a spiritual bond. You can go to I think it's the LLC or the trust route. There's plenty of other things you can do that to where you're not putting your motherfucking head and dick in a goddamn vice and a guillotine in order to be able to have a long-term relationship with a woman. That's just my whole premise.
But Mr. Fantastic.
No one should tell me that my side does the same thing, right? Because I never said that it was okay from any side. I never condoned it from any side.
I understand that, but the advocates for, they do the same thing. The thing is, when you advocate for something, it does not seem forceful because you're just simply saying, oh, blah, 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 blah. It's okay. However, the laws are so lopsided. To advocate for is just to basically throw gasoline on an already burning pyre. If you are against, because the laws are again lopsided, and you say, well, if you do this, it's stupid because it is. If you enter into a contract where you are not legally protected, you are stupid. Under any measure of intelligence or even business contract, you go into a court of law and you signed a contract that didn't benefit you, i.e. any of Puff Daddy's fucking music artists, the court is going to laugh you right out the building and call you stupid. So the thing is, if the contract is completely against you and you sign it anyway or go into that agreement anyway, and someone says, yo, that's stupid, and then they're called like, well, you're shaming and all that. Yes, that's actually how societies work. When people are responsible for each other, they go, hey man, that's dumb. And then if you do the dumb shit, they shame you for it. And sometimes you get punished for it. That's how it works. Okay. I get it. Since your side is on top.
It's not my side. Don't say my side because I'm not on the side.
You want to get married,
okay.
It's your side.
Can I ask a question?
Wait. Let me just.
Hold on. Let me ask a question.
I just want to finish this real quick. You want to get married, it is your side. So if you want to, if you're on that side, and your side is winning, yeah, okay, fine, I get it. Y'all got the ball, so you can of course say, "Oh, that's hating, that's this and that's that." That's fine. But if you're signing a contract with no legal protection, it is stupid.
Okay,
and that's exactly what it is.
When you say sides, I'm taking that as in I'm advocating for a specific side. I didn't advocate for marriage and I didn't advocate against it. So that's how I'm taking it when you say side, whether that's how you meant it or not, right? And then on top of that, we know that all marriages do not fail, correct? So
that has nothing to do with the contract where you have no legal protection and it's completely
we know that all marriages do not fail and that there are going to be successful marriages. So when you're giving out this advice, and saying do not get married, there is going to be a large percentage of that group who you're telling not to get married that you are keeping from their happiness. That's a fact.
You're saying that. You don't know. You're saying that.
The statistics show that.
No. You're saying that.
Wait. Hold on. What's the
there are no happiness
statistics? Yeah. Okay, you're keeping them from their goal. If somebody gets married, wants to get married, that's a goal that they have. When you're giving out this advice that nobody should do something, although the divorce rate is not 100%, it's not even 80%. I think they were saying someone said 42%.
No, it's 50%.
Okay, 50. Let's take 50. That means that you're keeping 50% of people from their goal being successful when you're giving out your advice.
I disagree with you there, young lady.
No, it is, because when you're telling people...
He cannot keep anybody. Nobody can keep anybody from anything.
Right, but the whole reason for him giving his stance is to shame people into
and hold on. Here's the question I want to ask everybody.
It's not shame.
Hold on. No, you don't know what he believes. So let me just ask one question, please.
Hey, one at a time, niggas. Wait.
Let me just ask one question to everybody. When did shaming become a bad thing? Because I heard the young lady said you're shaming people from being married. When did it become a bad thing?
When your shaming can stop 50% of people reaching their goal, then maybe you need to reconsider shaming everybody.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me say this. I'm pretty sure it's not 50%, but secondly,
No,
again,
the
like,
reason, quickly, fantastic. The reason I
but
say 50% is because if 50% of divorces end in 50% of marriages end in divorce, then 50% don't, right?
uh-huh,
50% are going to be successful marriages. If somebody
uh-huh,
gets married, it's their goal to be married. If
okay.
50% of them are going to work out, you're keeping 50% of people from their goal.
Yeah, but that would mean you're getting 100% of the message, and then to but either but hold on, I see what you're saying. I'm not gonna get into the weeds. So, but still, this is what we're saying, Jessica. At the end of the day, if it's something of good advice, like Zero said, okay, if there is a hole down the road, right, and you tell that person, hey man, there's a fucking hole down the road, I wouldn't go that way. Are you shaming that person for telling them not to go that way, or are you giving them sound advice to, and they still have the right? Because again, I'm not putting a gun in nobody's head and saying, nigga, if you get married, I'm gonna come see you, nigga. I'm gonna pull up. No, none of us are doing that. What we're doing, especially me, is this. I'm saying, look, bro, I've been there, I've done that. This is this and this and this and this. I can give you some stats and data to go behind it. I wouldn't advise it. If you change situation, then hey, they fucking, hey, they fix roads every day, right? They were to fix the fucking hole in the road and do a fucking do some some
Yeah.
repairs. Hey, by all means, take that road, brother. But until they get those fixes, it would be irresponsible of me to come from that same direction, right? Or me crawl out of that fucking hole that I fell in and not tell the next person that I see traveling down that way. That's all we're trying to do, Jessica. And again, you as a
Perfect.
woman,
I got you there, right? And that's why I'm all for talking about the pitfalls of marriage. Of course, put the information out there. I'm never going to tell people not to put the information out there. That's the wise thing to do. If you've gone up that road, there's a pothole, you tell someone, oh, look, there's a pothole, 20 minutes down the road, be
no, not
careful.
not a
That
pothole,
person's
a
either
fucking
going to,
a bottomless pit.
a bottomless pit,
Yeah,
right?
bottomless pit.
Whatever. That person is either going to say, okay, I'm going to turn around and take a different route, or they're going to heed what you say. And when they get to that point down the road, they're going to find out how to try and, go around that obstacle. That's what's going to happen. So I'm all for putting the advice out there. I'm never going to tell anyone not to put the stats out there, not to make
The
people
bigger
aware of what's going
issue,
on.
the bigger issue, the larger issue is that men are supposed to be responsible for each other in order to maintain society. If you do not do that, you do not have a society. It is really that simple. So everything that you're talking about, as far as like shaming and all the rest of it, you're supposed to do that. You literally are supposed to do that. In fact, many societies still do that. They will literally shame each other and punish each other, well, the men, because they have to, or you don't have a society.
Can I ask you a question, Zero?
Sure.
Okay, so let's break this down. So what's the problem with marriage? Is it the fact that you might lose half your stuff? Is it the fact that you might be put with alimony and all that stuff? So let's assume, right, you remove losing half your stuff, potential. Apart from the stuff which she helped build, etc. And you don't have to pay child support or whatever alimony. Would you be okay with it?
No, you're only okay with it if you're legally protected. Your responsibility has to match your authority. If it doesn't,
well, that's what I'm saying. As in, you remove all the. I removed, like the losing your money. I've removed all the other stuff, making you pay extra money. So
how do you remove it?
No, forget about that. I'm just trying to. That's not relevant. I'm just trying to get to the point of what do you hate about marriage?
Sure, if men are legally protected in marriage, then sure, yeah, go for it. You're supposed to get married. You're supposed to have children. I defined marriage earlier using the fucking the Cornell law education definition. These are legal statutes. So,
but wait a minute. I wanted to interject this part. Only 5% of marriages that end in divorce actually had prenups. And so y'all act like prenups can't be upheld or that all prenups get thrown out when that's just not the case.
Wait, first of all,
Mr. George, remember that scene from Waiting. Right quick, remember that scene from Waiting.
Hey, wait, everybody, wait. Hey, I gotta read these super chats, man, real quick, and then we'll get back into it. Let's go one at a time, man. We've been doing real good today. Let's not, start over talking. TCT Kill for the 5. As a bachelor, I wouldn't want to have ARC's Married Lifestyle. I always try to sneak this. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out the sneak 2008, bro. Jessica, do you think a music artist should sign a 360 deal knowing the large number of artists who've been screwed? Shout out to Keep the Sneak for the 5.
I'm not telling anyone to get married. People are acting as though I'm telling you get married. That's of no consequence to me whether or not you get married. It's of no consequence to me. What I'm saying is stop trying to please other people's option to get married. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference. I never told any of you to get married.
Yeah, okay, and again, like I said, it's just I think since you're a woman, and again, your goal is hopefully, eventually, marriage. That's why you're looking at it as different from what we're saying. We're just looking out for the bros, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, the majority of men,
the thing is, they already have the law on their side. The laws are already lopsided, so you can play the middle if the laws are already lopsided. You can say, I'm not advocating for
Fantastic. You say you're going to read that.
Already there.
Yeah. Hold on. All right, and so I gotta read Ike's message. Ike said my mama black as fuck. Yeah. I've got the nigga paid 200. So I definitely gotta say see, dark skinned niggas can take jokes too. It's from the light skinned nigga. But we skipped all over Fatal Dose, man. My man Wade Pace, he's been up here for a long time, so we will get to him. Then we'll go to Game Changer, Sister George, and everybody. So go ahead, Fatal Dose, brother. Appreciate your patience. Go ahead.
Yeah. So everybody's on here. I think besides me, ARC was the only other person that's been married, right? So I've been with this woman for 29 years, and we've been married for 23 years out of that. I got married when I was 23 years old, right? And here's what I would say, right? Both sides are right and wrong, right? Because the side that's saying, for example, Jessica's saying, don't stop people from, we're trying to stop people from finding happiness. Just because 50% of people remain married, that doesn't mean 50% of the people are happy, right? It's a very few of these marriages, and I know a lot of married couples, right? In fact, most people I know that were married are now divorced, remarried, and some of them are divorced again, right? So the idea that just because you stay married, you're happy, is not the truth. A lot of times people stay married because of financial situations, or you've gotten comfortable with the situation and whatnot. So it's not necessarily about happiness. Second, the idea that men should walk into this blindly, I absolutely reject, because if you speak to divorce lawyers, because I have, right, you will actually, men will dread the idea of marriage if they sit down and speak to a divorce lawyer, because just for shits and giggles, I spoke to a divorce lawyer I knew. I said, run up my numbers, see where I end up. It didn't matter that, I'm taking care of business. This woman hadn't had to work, and I made all this money. I got the house. I upgrade her car every couple of years. Like, I would be screwed if I decided that I was leaving, or if she decided she was unhappy and blew up the marriage and left, right? So it's a real raw deal for men where, in fact, I've known brothers who caught their wife cheating and still got screwed. These were brothers who were in love with these women, married these women, and wanted to be with the women, but the women got bored or whatever, got tired, got bored of the marriage. Instead of doing zip lining, they decided to go, ride the carousel, and they catch them and they still get screwed. So, and I don't think any man, I'm speaking from my experience, as a man, you're not equipped to get married until you're about 35. And ARC, I gotta say, he's wrong about what he's saying, because ARC's in his 50s. So he's had enough life experience to be able to navigate his marriage. And he's only been married for 2 years. He should come back and speak to me in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and see if he feels the same way. But the fact that he is much older than any of you brothers, he's had enough life experience, and by the time, once you get hit your 40s and 50s, you start getting older, you're calmer, and you're able to deal with things differently as well. So there's a lot of these things that brothers got to consider before taking that plunge, and just simply telling brothers, you're shaming brothers by laying out everything that they face in front of them, because once you sign on that line, it's you, the state, and the woman, and the state gets to decide. And as Zero was pointing out earlier, they're using the Duluth model, right? And it doesn't matter what you walk in there with, unless you able to prove that she's a drug addict or she murdered someone or you found her choking one of the kids on camera. You're screwed. So brothers need to be aware of this, and telling brothers not to shame brothers because they're providing information, and telling brothers not to go into this blindly. And you're getting this from a man who's in a 29-year relationship and been married for 23 years of it, right? And I'm speaking from experience. Like, it is not something for the fainted heart.
Can I go?
Well, actually, I was next.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, appreciate it. So, yeah, I wanted to reply right quick to what Sister George was saying about the prenup. I mean, really, that's okay. So, did everybody see that scene from Waiting to Exhale where Angela Bassett was getting all dude shit, and her and Whitney Houston was just like laughing it up as the judge was reading the list of stuff that he worked his whole life for that was going to go to her? Y'all remember that scene? Because he had a prenup.
You're talking about, I do remember the movie and quite well, to be honest with you, but you're talking about something that was fictional versus what is facts.
Well,
Most
what is
prenups?
prenups?
Well, no. Let's talk about prenups. So 5% of marriages, 5%. 5% of all marriages have prenups. Prenups only get thrown out when they weren't done from the start the right way. So
what's the
if
right
you
way, George?
Okay, so if you decide that you want to drop a prenup on a napkin, that's probably not going to be upheld in court.
That's an example of a wrong way. But do you know that?
Okay, so if you guys,
right quick,
you asked me a question, so I wanted to ask you. I wanted to answer.
Okay.
So if you guys went to both went to your own personal lawyers and you had a prenup drawn up, and those things were agreed to by your lawyers, which are officiants of the court, then those prenups are most likely to be upheld. But you can't. It's kind of hard to say when only 5% of marriages even have prenups. I think it's BS.
Okay.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Right quick, brother, because she was addressing me. So were one of the prenups that were thrown out written on a napkin?
Yes.
Oh, really? Which one?
I don't know the people, but prenups do get thrown out when they're not started.
Sister George, you know of somebody who wrote a prenup on a napkin and it was thrown out?
Actually, that was Steven Spielberg.
He wrote a prenup on a napkin.
Yes, and it was thrown out.
Okay, so of all the people who are not Steven Spielberg and wrote it on a napkin, they had lawyers and stuff too, and theirs were thrown out. Okay, prenups are thrown out because children exist that didn't exist prior to the marriage, and that's a condition.
Actually, because you're stating misfacts.
Okay, but I didn't interrupt your
children don't, but children don't.
I did not interrupt your facts, so please.
Okay.
New houses are purchased, things like that. A change in assets. People believe that the women wrote the prenup or signed the prenup under duress, meaning that, okay, the judge says, you know something, I think that she didn't really mean it when she signed that prenup. Prenups that the judge later deems to be unnecessarily or unbalanced in one person's favor, meaning that a prenup that really benefits the man should not be valid in court. Hey. So, yeah, there are a lot of reasons that prenups are thrown out, and they are, Nevertheless, the reason why I brought up the fiction was because the mentality of the women who cheered on that scene, they think that it's a victory when you get a person's stuff. That's what I was saying, more to the fact that of the likelihood, because you're right, it is fiction. But they do see it as a victory when a woman takes the assets of a man that the assets that a man worked for. Now, the reason why I brought up that mentality, because I want to point out that also that Alan Roger Curry has searched for nearly 60 years for a wife of a woman. So for him to say that a man should just willy-nilly marry the women that he would not in 60 years, I think that that's a little bit, that's
all right. Well, hey, let's do this, man. Let's not refer to the old light skinned nigga if he's not here. Yeah,
Right.
I don't want. I got respect for woman shit.
And he didn't say that.
Hold on.
There's a
Real
couple
quick. Let me hold on, real quick. Let me get these zero, nigga. I'm giving you all this money back. When the law benefits women who want marriage, middle ground is the same as advocating. People only argue inside when there's a point of contention. Great point, brother. Shout out to my man Jihadi Mahdi for the $9.99. I'm pro marriage and pro bachelor, but I can guarantee that 98% of women would rethink the concept of modern marriage if is when they divorce. Men take the kids' house and access. Exactly, bro. That's a great point. We actually seen this here recently with I think it was Halle Berry and Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige. Black woman was mad as hell when Mary J. Blige had to pay her husband. That's it. Shout out to Zero again, man, for the $10. By the way, I'm not saying don't get married. I'm saying if you do, take the measures, not signing away your rights. If you can't get that cooperation, then what is your relationship really? Exactly.
So
can I say something on this?
No. DC, he didn't get to finish. Go ahead, Fatal Dose.
So all right. So the thing about prenups, people have to remember, right? There's a limit on prenups, and every period, there's certain things the women earn from the prenup, right? So let's say for that Russian billionaire that divorced like 4 years ago, that thought he had a prenup, and that got thrown out, right? And ended up having to give her half of his 10 billion. Look at what happened with Janet Jackson. Oh, right. It wasn't. Look at Janet Jackson, right? What Janet Jackson did. She had a prenup with the billionaire she married.
Got that baby.
Right?
She got the
She
baby.
waited,
Out of there.
right? She got the baby, waited for 5 years, and went after her money, right? So all of this about get prenup, this is that other side where you're trying to give men a false sense of security.
So are we acting like all prenups get thrown out? Are we acting like all prenups get thrown out?
No one said
The majority. Are we acting like the majority of prenups get thrown out?
But
yes, they do.
Not the majority.
Hold up.
It doesn't even get thrown out for it to be considered a safe option.
Right. If one prenup gets thrown out, that's too much because it might be yours. So
Facts,
no,
my bro.
Yeah.
Too many prenups get thrown out for it to be a safe option. For it to be considered a safe option.
I have to clarify. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but if you say even if 1%, it gets overturned, then it's ineffective. Are you never going to have sex again for the rest of your life because condoms are only 98% effective? I mean,
because everything comes down to sex with you women.
I mean,
right.
Logically, if you have birth control,
I notice everybody the women talk about sex.
Birth control doesn't work 99% of the time too. It doesn't stop us from taking it.
Yeah, but you can have tons of sex and don't have kids. Just dump it in your mouth.
You can have tons of marriages and not get divorced.
Hold on. Wait, hey, let me have it real quick. Let me get it real quick. And shout out to Isaac Sama and Cannon Wiles for both for the $10 cash apps. Thank you, brothers. Listen, what Fatal Dose is just remixing the same thing that all you niggas, with probably exception of Jessica X, where Martin Luther King said, injustice somewhere is an injustice anywhere. That's all he's saying. He's just pretty much putting a man's spin on it. And then when it comes to the protection of men, if you have something that two people agreed upon, you can't do that with any other contract. You can't even do that with a car, like buying a car from a dealership. Most of these dealerships don't even have they used to be like, I think, a 72-hour rule. Once you get your name on that dotted line, that's it. You can't go back and take this. And, well, sir, did you sign your name? Yeah, that's not. Well, that's it. It's done and over with, sir. Get out of my courtroom. Sorry. You should have read over the contract. You should have read over what was in it, and you go by what's in it. Prenups are the only things that you can do after the fact. That's the only contract as to where you, even if you do set up to the protections that's supposed to be there, there are workarounds for it, and there are plenty of workarounds for it. It's not just one. It's not just, oh, he lied. Well, no, he lied. He cheated. Not just a napkin. He lied. He cheated. He hid money. He this. He that. And all these things don't even have to be. It's so many ways. So again, you guys are I understand what you're saying, yeah, but the thing is, it's more of the spirit of the argument versus the technicality. If you want to be technical, of course, yeah, of course you're going to have failures and things there, but what we're saying in this case with prenups is this is the usual. And we don't really have the numbers to look behind.
But then you can't say it's the usual if you don't have the numbers. You're just speaking off of what you think you feel. And we've heard wait, fantastic, because we hear about cases. We hear about a lot of cases where prenups aren't upheld, but we don't hear about cases where the prenups have been. So I think it's kind of unfair to say that majority of prenups are thrown out, a majority of prenups are upheld, when only 5%. And let's go back to this. Only 5% of marriages have them. That's a thing. So
okay, 1 second. Let me go there.
Fantastic. Hey, game changer. Can I address this?
I've been trying to
let's look what happened. Let's look at Dr. Dre, right? He has a prenup. And they're making it so hard for him to execute that prenup. Now he has to settle and give her some things that was not in the prenup, right? So in essence, what you're advocating is that men should just take the deal, no matter what happens at the end of it, even though you're not 100% protected by the prenup, because a judge could be having a bad day. She could have just got divorced and got screwed over and decided that I'm going to screw. In fact, where I live right now, there's 3 black women judges that was removed from the divorce court because they were just laying it out to black men because their men left them.
You're accusing me of something that I never said. I'm not telling anybody to get married and not be protected when they get married. I didn't say that at all. I'm not advocating for that at all. I'm saying if you do choose to get married, a prenup probably would be a good thing. You did bring up Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre's case isn't over yet. We don't know the ins and outs. All we know is what we've seen in the media. And of course, the media does not always give a proper representation of what's actually happening within somebody's case. The media will put out bits and pieces of information. We don't know all the details. So until all the details come out, we really can't speak on that. Now, if the details come out and he did have to give up certain things, even though he had a prenup, then we can come back and say, you know what, she was able to obtain a lot of things from him. Even though they were married for however long, and let's just say it did happen to work out in her favor, then we can come back and revisit that. But for us to kind of make assumptions and say that a certain thing has happened when it hasn't yet, we don't know. But if we're talking about 5% of marriages, 5% of total marriages, it's not even that the law. I can't say that the laws aren't fucked up. The laws are fucked up. But then if you got people that are entering into contracts without doing all of the work behind the contracts, yeah, that is stupid. So if you only have 5% of marriages that have prenups, that would kind of come back on the man, like sign a fucking prenup, make the woman sign a prenup.
Okay, Sister George, may I go now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on, wait, GC, we got Truth, and we got Massage and Water's got to get in here. They've been waiting. You took a whole turn, nigga. We'll get back to you. They've been waiting. Go ahead, Truth. Go ahead.
Thank you, appreciate it. So I'll make it short because I know there's a lot of heads who want to talk. I heard various things. I think the way it all boils down to is like it's 2 roads. Either you're not interested in getting married, and then the whole conversation's mute, and then it's like, if you are, then there has to be a conversation. Again, I think it goes back to if you even should get married or if you've just been convinced you want to get married. Because I think a lot of people think they want to get married and they don't when you actually talk to them. Then once you have all that resolved, it's like, okay, what do you think the roles of the genders are and how do you plan on enforcing your role? And it's like most men are not equipped currently to actually have a successful marriage. So even if we're talking about whether or not marriage can be successful, I'm pretty sure if we evaluate it, the 30% of marriages that are successful or whatever it is, you would find that there's probably more traditional roles and women who are accepting of those traditional roles. I think someone quoted stats to that effect earlier. For example, I've dated a Russian girl and she shamed me on not being red pill enough. That was a crazy experience. She was like, oh no, it's the woman's place to just do what the man says and da, da, da. So she had already been programmed by her culture to respect the role of a man. The Western world is flooded by feminism. It's been in the universities since the 80s under the course gender studies. So what we're going up against is very pervasive. It's not like some simple ideology that's easily swatted away. This is kind of like ingrained into culture and how females think about their reality. And so it takes a very competent and powerful man who can not just know what he's talking about, but show that he can prove what he says, right? He has to be competent, successful, etc., to be able to deprogram a chick and then reprogram her. And that's if you even want to deprogram her. I would probably suggest, honestly, find a chick who gets it already. Find a chick from a patriarchal nation who respects the role of masculinity. Now, that doesn't mean that you just get to sit on the couch. I think the real sin in a lot of these divorce cases is that niggas ain't shit. And men are acting like women and are not comfortable shaming each other anymore. It's like, you suck. I'm a sexist. I'm a misogynist. I get to say that. I don't respect women. I blame men. If a woman cheats on you, wow, you suck. Like, that's just how I feel. It's not to say that women can't go wrong. It's to say that at the end of the day, the way that the world works for a man is no one loves us. No one's doing us favors. We don't get to go, but that's not fair. You got to create the reality you want. A lot of the times when niggas are fucking with bitches, they're fucking with bitches under the system that their mother trained them under. And then it's like, but your mother never respected you, nigga. And so they expect this bitch to, they believe what she says. She says, I love you. You're the king. She says everything he wants to hear. He starts believing it and he thinks that's her fault because she's a liar. It's like, I mean, maybe, but I don't respect women. So I just expect her to fucking lie, don't I? I expect a man to have to be competent enough to see through a bitch's lies because they're just a female. It's like, if I'm hunting animals, I understand the nature of the beast. Likewise, a female is no different. And they like being called that and treated like that. They'll run their mouth counter to that. But the idea that a man looks at them as nothing other than something to capture, that actually excites them. They don't like when they're given accountability and responsibility. They don't like the pressure of having to be equal to a man, but they'll run that shit. The truth is they really just want a nigga to say, you ain't shit, do what I say, or you get left. And the second you out of line, it's not a conversation. I don't talk to you. You do what I say or goodbye. And it's like, now, like I said, sometimes you got to program a chick. It's a deprogram process and get her tuned to that, or you can find a chick pre-programmed. But that's the simplest way I can put how you would even feasibly have a marriage that lasts the years. And I think this is where the back and forth about prenup kind of becomes redundant because I'm old school, right? Like I look young. I'm 29, right? I lived in Compton and Brooklyn. Like I have hood niggas on both sides of my family. I've seen pimping firsthand. My Uncle Mervin married his bottom bitch. I don't relate to niggas who don't look at women as property because I was raised by a single mom. I fought against it. I was some lover boy. They were proven correct. I realized it in interaction. It's all transactional. It's all cap. It's all gas. Bitches will act like it's a Disney marriage. No, it's not. They're just saying what you need to hear so they can keep playing you. And until you take charge and say, bitch, I own this, be quiet, you are being played because they will respond to that. So the fact that you're not doing so anyway, I say all this to say to close on, it's like when I contemplate marriage or anything that has any serious amount of consequence in failure, it's about being informed, getting all the knowledge you can, right? And then actually mastering that knowledge. Because if I throw your ass a book on mechanics, yeah, you can memorize the book. You ain't never worked on a car, right? So it's like there's stages of knowledge. Yeah, you gotta digest all this information, but then your ass gotta go out there in the streets. That's why these incels are fucked, boy. I was hitting on bitches at 14, going in malls, getting numbers, figuring out the game. It's like these niggas are in their 30s, haven't fucking hit on bitches yet. Don't even understand how women get down. And so it's just like a lot of when we're quoting marriage failure, I feel like to be fair, most niggas ain't shit. And I'm not even, by the way, like Kevin, you know why I fuck with Kevin? Kevin keeps it 1,000. Kevin Samuel said, oh, I was a simp till I was 40. He just says it. He doesn't bullshit. He doesn't go and say it was my ex-wife's fault. It was this and that. He goes, I was a blue-pilled sucker. I didn't know any different. I believed the bullshit. My marriage was my fault. My divorce was my fault. Because he knows in the male world, we don't give a fuck about your crybaby excuses. Results are the results of winners. If you lost, you lost. Don't blame the game. And that you got that from your mother. Because your whole life she was complaining. Your whole life she was bitching. So I'm just saying, it's like, at the end of the day, Whether or not marriage is successful comes down to a man from my perspective, because I'm sexist. So if you don't operate under that perspective, I have to have a whole different conversation with you, because you might say, oh, no, it's 50-50, and that's a whole different conversation. But under my worldview, marriage is not a threat. It's not even remotely a threat, unless this bitch is playing a super long calling game. Because again, I'll make this the last thing I say. Niggas will get a bitch to go to the corner and sell pussy and bring the money back. So you scared of signing a contract is laughable to me, because I know there are niggas out there making bitches sell puss and bring money back. Stop, bro. You might not be a pimp. That doesn't mean pimps ain't real. You may not be able to get Beyonce to deal with you cheating. That doesn't mean Jay-Z didn't raise $100 grand in cocaine money in 6 months. You ain't on the level. So stop having on that level expectations. Like, start understanding that the world doesn't owe you shit, and it gives you what you put in. And so until you get the right formula down, you will never have success. And it ain't about marriage. It's about everything.
All right, bet. And we're going to go to you in a minute, Massage Rock, because I want these super chats. Shout out to Oswald for the 10. Thank you.
Make $120K a year. Eat a dick.
Shout out to Charles Burgess for the 10. A woman can legally cheat on her husband, divorce him, take her cut, and be with the dude she cheated on his cash. Yep, that's Juanita Jordan. Anyone? Who else we got here? Oh shit, hold on. Wait, hold up. I skipped that. No,
Did you bring up Juanita Jordan?
Yeah, Juanita Jordan. Juanita Jordan was, she was definitely fucking on them niggas with the Jordan brand money. Yes, she was.
But never mind.
I apologize if I skipped. There you go, brother. Erkster first. I want to hear Sister George and Game Changer. Yeah. We getting back to that one. And let me see. Go ahead. Massage War. What you got?
Right. Okay. So I'm gonna agree with about 80% of what the guy said, and I'll disagree with 20%. The 20% I disagree is that unfortunately most guys are simps. I know you guys are gonna hate me for calling you guys simps, but there's a reason for this, right? Now, some of us, like people like Zero, are worried about getting married because of the financial aspect. Fair enough. However, I disagree that that's majority of men. I think majority of men actually want to get married because of that blue pill fantasy that they still have ingrained in the back of their heads. And if that's the case, which I think is most people, the issue there is nothing that we're going to say is going to change anything, because they intrinsically want that experience. They want the experience of this eternal aspect of love, this loyalty. In fact, that's why they end up in marriage, because they think, okay, this is a system that's difficult to get out of. Therefore, it will be incentivizing her to remain for a long period of time. That's why he wants it. That's why the average beta male wants marriage. It's because he thinks it's going to incentivize her to stay. Now, the woman obviously wants it because it's incentivizing her based on the resource ability, being able to take half the house or half the resources acquired across time and having someone to help her raise the kids. Fair enough. It makes perfect sense there. The issue here that I guess I have is, he's right about how to be a pimp, but most guys are not going to be pimps, obviously. So that's where there's a bit of an issue.
Hey, let me say this, bro. That pimp shit, bro, is dead, bro. I'm not co-signing that pimp shit, man. Hey, it's 2021, nigga. Ain't no pimps. If you pimping out here in 2021, nigga, you getting fed time. So don't even do it, bro. It ain't the 90s. It ain't the 2000s. That pimping shit is dead.
Brought it up.
I feel you, but I just gotta, for my sake, for my brand, for my shit, like, nigga, I'm not with that pimping shit. Pimping is dead, nigga. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I think he's talking about like a metaphysical pimp, I think. But anyways, maybe it's not. The point here that I'm making is this, right? He is right on one point, right? It's like we got to stop this idea of this 50-50 thing that we've been fed. The truth is people have nature. For them, women, they have a nature whereby they're always seeking something better, because throughout hundreds of millions of years of evolution, they've always been the kind of person that you live in a cave, right? The cave is not comfortable enough. They want a bigger cave. They want a nicer cave. They want a mat or a rug on the cave. Each time they keep wanting something better. So unless you can maintain this game across time, right, whereby you're basically always creating this chess game, this scenario where you're changing something. I don't mean like getting more money for it, for example, because you get people like Will Smith who have everything, but still they're missing something. You just got to create a game enough, maybe psychological. Part of it is money. You take back, you create problems which you can easily solve. That's what they're looking for, excitement and something for you to kind of look forward to. If you can do that, then I think that most people will be all right. But again, in terms of the whole prenup thing, Sister George talked about 5% people get prenups. That's true. 5% people get prenups, and 5% of the divorces are prenups. So it's the same number as the general population. The thing here, obviously, we don't have the stats on how many percent get thrown out. But the problem here, obviously, is the duress aspect. Duress is one of the conditions which can be thrown out. Now, duress simply means that she can say, I signed it without wanting to. I was not in a good mental state. I was drunk. I was
That's
not.
the Duluth model that Zero was talking about earlier.
Yeah, and
Right,
like I
so
said,
that's the problem.
so yeah, I mean, we got off on the tangent of the prenup. We covered that pretty much already. And
fantastic.
Real quick, Sister George gave great context in that. It's very, very rare or whatnot, I guess, to the people that actually have it versus things. So, like I said, and Zero already covered it. So, I mean, let's jump past that.
Bro, I wanted to get 2 minutes on that one. That 5%.
Fantastic.
Wait. Yeah, we gotta get people that gotta get their order. Then we gotta get back to ARC. We come on. So, all right, so GC is on you. Then we'll go to Sister George, ARC. Then we come back to Zero. Go ahead.
Okay, I actually wanted to continue on the prenup, but I do want to point out how it's always the man's fault, if you ever notice that. Like whenever you look at a divorce scenario and the man get taken in court, it's always something like, he either married the wrong woman, which means that, he's blamed for getting married in the first place. And if he has a prenup, then, and she still takes him for his money, it's still somehow its fault. And if he doesn't have a prenup, then they will say that he should have had a prenup. So anytime a man gets hustled out of the majority or the lion's share of everything that he's ever worked for, it's somehow and always the man's fault. I just want to point that out. And everything that's being said now is in the defense of that construct. Now, what I wanted to do, since we're off the prenup situation, is I want to ask Jessica, would you consider a non-state sanctioned marriage?
I wouldn't be against it, no.
Would you be for it? Would that be something that you're willing to do?
That means that I'd consider it. If I say I'm not against it, it's obviously
no. Absence of a negative is not necessarily a positive, but never.
You have common sense. Come on.
Okay, I prefer to get positive affirmation than the absence of a negative. Okay, so but thank you for the positive affirmation. I appreciate that. Okay, so and that's good. I do think that that's the way. When you look at the movie Braveheart, and they were living under a system in your same country, they were living under a system where
I think Braveheart is Scotland.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the people in the southern portion, like the people who made the laws for Scotland were in your country, is what I mean. But yeah, thank you. All right. So the people in your country that made the laws for
Scotland has its own government, by the way.
Jesus, I'm sorry. If they had their own government, the English lords wouldn't be fucking their wives, now would they?
No, English law is in all countries that have previously been run by England, including Australia and most of Africa.
So they were making the laws. I mean, I don't know why I can't have a term without being interrupted with semantics. The English lords had a law that they can fuck Scottish wives before the husband could. Now, I doubt the Scots made that law up themselves. So that was the law of the land in Scotland.
That's fucking
now that is. Now, what William Wallace decided to do, at least in the movie, was he decided, something, since this is the law in the land, I am not going to get a marriage that is recognized by the land. I am going to get a marriage that is secret and a non-sanctioned marriage. I think that when the laws are unfavorable, the intelligent thing to do is to find a way around it, and non-sanctioned marriage is a way around it.
I did one thing I did want to mention. I know Misogynist noticed it as well. People, if they don't know, should be wary of common law marriages, which are things that happen where basically certain states will have common law marriage, which is when you cohabitate in a dwelling.
Yeah, we covered that one. We talked about that one earlier. Yeah, we covered that, bro. We do that. We do this over here commonly. Appreciate you, brother. Bring it. So I got me get this on loose. Shout out to Astro for the $4.99. You see what happens when you let light people talk. Yeah, we will keep giving y'all niggas these light skin jokes. Yes, indeed. Where my man Curlin at? Shout out to Curlin M in the building. Where you at, bro? Where you at? I know I ain't past you. Hold up, what happened? Speaking of Curlin, right on time. Go ahead, lady Curlin. Why don't you give us your spiel? Then we'll get back to ARC. Well,
you can go on to ARC. I basically said what I had to say. I'm just,
Oh, you just
yeah.
Okay, well, let me read it first.
1 second.
Right.
Just
1
second.
Wait. It's simple. Like any business, know what you're getting into and up against. you're either going to take the risk with a woman that you picked or nah. Ain't got nothing to do with simps or anything. Shout out to Curlin in the building. Appreciate you, bro.
Just one second. One second. Yeah. So this is the game changer. You mentioned about like, it's always the man's fault. Well, yeah, because we live in a patriarchal world. The man's supposed to be the leader. So this whole 50-50 thing, that's basically simp central. If anyone believes that, that's not how the world works, right? It might be what they tell us that it should work, but it's just not how the world works. No one cares. So you just got to operate the world as if that is.
Yeah, so since this isn't a discussion of 50-50, let's not bring that in there.
Oh, right. Because you said the man's fault.
Excuse me. These laws are not patriarchal by nature now, are they? Like laws that benefit women specifically over men is
actually
not patriarchal. Therefore, at least in this system, the family court system, we're not living under a patriarchy.
Actually, they are patriarchal because they were made that way because the woman was seen as the lesser. Hence, they've not changed. So they were actually built in a patriarchal system. They just haven't evolved to deal with the circumstances of today.
Okay, so the shield was given to women and it's been used as a sword against men. However, if a man chooses to engage in combat with somebody who's using the weapons that they gave them against him, then whether it's patriarchy or not, he should not do such a thing. Please don't interrupt what you're agreeing. Okay, so I still believe that sanctioned marriage is a bad deal for a lot of men. However, non-state sanctioned marriage is actually a better alternative, which is why I brought up the William Wallace.
I don't know if that's true because of the common law marriages.
Please do not interrupt because I'm about to ask you a question. Okay. Do you believe that non-state sanctioned marriage is a good deal for men?
No, because of the common law marriage system, and it's not just on the states.
No. Well, okay, right. Do you believe that's a good deal for men in California, where there is no common law marriage?
For now, yes, but in the future, I think the laws will change to actually include it. So I don't think so.
Unpatriarchal. Okay.
All right, so shout out to Hulk in the building, man. Spiritual Logic, aka Hulk, for the 10. Thank you, brother. I can't believe all men can't see that marriage is just a word now, having nothing to do with the benefit of family and men maintaining legal authority to protect and build in it. Excuse me. Oh, ARC, go ahead. Shit, COVID. ARC, you
Can
back,
I be
bro?
real petty for a second and say that Scotland was its own independent state governed by its own government up until the 1700s, and even at this point today, you cannot pass English law in Scotland unless the Scottish Parliament agree with it. So my point that I made earlier was correct.
Isn't that
just
what
being
Braveheart?
petty?
Yeah,
just being petty.
But okay, to continue to be petty, isn't that what Braveheart and Robert the Bruce won when they fought the war in the 1700s?
So what in the 1900s? What year?
No, like isn't that what they fought
what
for?
Year was Braveheart around? What year was Braveheart around?
Wait a minute, Jessica. So you're saying that in the 1700s they became independent, right?
No. They were already independent up until then.
What happened in the 1700s to make them less independent?
It's
King James
of Scotland actually took over England, and that's when the whole three joined. And I think Wales, and that's when the whole three joined together.
Okay, so let's do this. Was there a law that said that English lords can sleep with Scottish wives?
No, not as far as I know.
Okay, so I'll look into that.
Okay.
All right.
Just saying my point was correct.
Yeah, Jessica X knowing more about where she stays than everybody else. Good job, Jessica. Shout out to Alan Roger Curry. What's up, bro?
Now, first, you comedy fantastic. I heard you before I jumped back on. You said, "Hey, don't be disrespecting the old light-skinned nigga when he not here."
Yeah, I know, man.
I gotta put that on the audio clip.
ARC, man. ARC, it's number love, man. It's just me, man. I ain't got no disrespect for you, brother. It is what it is. You don't get these.
All right.
It's a long overdue war, nigga. Like I said, I'm doing it for my granddaddy and my uncles. All right, all this shit you did in the '80s, all that pussy, nigga. Yeah,
no, that's the reason I respect to you, brother. Respect. Now I want to know because it sounds to me like some people are saying, or at least suggesting or implying, that there's a wide variety of guys in this space that are dedicated to advocating for marriage. So I want to ask, who are the top 5 black male content creators that their platform is known for advocating for marriage?
Kevin Samuels off top.
Kevin Samuels. Okay. Anybody else?
In this space or just in general?
On YouTube, basically. Yeah, I don't want to go beyond YouTube.
Jesse Lee Peterson.
Who said that? Don't quote that nigga.
Slut maker?
I mean, Jesse Lee Peterson. He's a black man. He's big.
Amazing.
Okay, got Kevin Samuels, got Jesse Lee Peterson. Anybody else?
Oh, don't quote him. Oh.
Because the reason I asked that question, because honestly, I very rarely hear guys in this space like emphatically and consistently advocating for marriage. Now, I have heard in just recent months, in less than the last year, yeah, I've heard that Kevin, because I've only caught a couple of Kevin's shows, but I've heard Kevin, he promotes marriage, and Obsidian, I've heard him actually a few times say mainly for business purposes that guys, yeah, somebody just put it up. Oh man, yeah, I've heard Obsidian. Those are the two. But other than that, like for example, myself, I've never on my YouTube channel. I've always said, if you want to get married, go ahead and do it.
Derek Jackson as well.
Derek Jackson. Well, I don't consider him technically.
Yeah, Derek Jackson is not for marriage, bro. He just he just repeats simp shit. He doesn't even really promote marriage like that.
But yeah, I don't really hear that even being promoted. So I don't understand where the pushback against guys, because I don't feel like there's any guys to push back against it, because I don't hear anybody saying, hey, all you fellas should get married. You definitely should get married.
Well, ARC, this is what I say, ARC. Shout out to Erskine First for the 2. What's up, ARC, for Erskine First? Listen, this is the thing. It isn't just, this space isn't just to this space, bro. So again, what we're doing is you have black men that are coming together to discuss things that you can't normally talk about in the real world. You can't talk about this in a job. You can't even talk. I heard brothers talk about, man, they can't have conversations about politics and things with their family because they're ignorant, or they have these, racism accessions, or they're just, not versed in whatever the actual topic matter is other than emotionality. So what happens here is you get to have the real hard conversations you're not going to be able to have. And again, it's going to be inspiring or educating brothers that may not know. Again, I learned a lot of stuff in this space and have this conversation. Like I never even heard of a non-stake station marriage before this. I only knew the one way. And of course, like the spiritual shit, like, hey, you're under the eyes of God and that's it. But there's actual legal things that you can set up to protect yourself to where it will be recognized, where the woman or and the woman and husband will be able to pass down things, property, or insurance policies, all those type things, and whatever. It's ways to do it, but before this space, I never heard of it. So when we're advocating for, speaking about this thing, it isn't just speaking to the brothers in this space. This space is again meant to be something that gets put outside of the space and pretty much get disseminated around as much and as wide as possible. So the goal isn't just to talk to the people here; it's to talk to even the women. We got Jessica X here. We get two women's perspective. We got Sister George here. Let me put Sister George first for the record. The dark skinned sisters before the light skinned sisters. Jessica X on the team, but I got Team Chocolate.
It's
and shit.
about time I got my damn just due.
Don't never say I ain't doing that. I know I'm the king colors, but we putting the dark skin before the light skin today. All right. So just for the record, but seriously, we got women's perspective and the way they're looking at it in these things. Because I mean, for Jessica X to say that she'd even consider it, I think she capping. I think it's sombrero grande cap. I don't believe her, but at least she's saying it on tape that she would consider. You know what though?
It is in where I'm coming from. The men want to be married as well, and not cultural marriages, actual marriages. And like I said, for that demographic, the divorce rate is very low in comparison to the general public.
Yeah, you with them African niggas and shit. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a major patriarchal, and Europeans' outlook is totally different than America. But we're talking about if you were in an American frame, to hear you say if you were in America, that's a big thing. And most dudes don't even know to offer that to a woman, to put that to a woman, to be like, hey, look, If you want to do the marriage thing and we don't get, nonsense, state sanction, I'm cool with it. I mean, you can get the ring, we can have a ceremony. I'm gonna be monogamous. I'm not gonna cheat. I'm not gonna go out here and have these babies on you. None of this shit. We'll be married. It's just not with the state. That's a huge thing. But again, like Zero says, Zero brings up the great point. If you ultimately want me, why the fuck do you need a piece of paper? You see what I'm saying? And no woman has an answer for that. You ask a woman that question, if you want to be with me forever, ever, you know what I'm saying, till death do us part, why do we need a piece of paper to recognize that? Oh, well, this, that, and the other insurance, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, there's an app for that. Okay, there's this thing called a trust, or we can set up an LLC. It's things we can do to where, hey, if you do this and do that and so on and so forth, and we go our separate ways, I don't lose half my shit, and you can't ever have my nuts in a vice.
Hey, fantastic. But on that point, I got to point out, and I pointed this out one time on Ramil's channel, a lot of people are misspeaking when they talk about whenever they get on the category of the financial rate aspect of divorce. Because here's the reality. Most laws, well, first I'll preface this even by saying this. When it comes to divorce, at least here in the United States, well, I would assume they vary definitely from country to country. And even here within the United States, it's very few laws that are federal, that are universal across state for state. The vast majority of divorce laws range and sometimes drastically range from, like, California's divorce laws are totally different than Illinois, which is totally different from Indiana, which is totally different from Michigan. So that's number one. A lot of divorce laws range from state to state. How the judges and the courts oversee divorce cases range from state to state. But what I was going to say is, specifically as it relates to money, most laws are not gender specific. They don't, like, I've heard guys say, man, these divorce laws, when it comes to money, they benefit women. Nah, that ain't true. There might be a few here and there, but what in most states, what it benefits is who's ever the higher earner. And that just so happens that in most cases, the man is usually the higher earner. So that's why it seems like it benefits the woman, because in most marriage situations, the man is the higher earner. But I know for a fact, I talked about it on one of my YouTube videos. I used to mess around with a woman, sister, who was a high-ranking corporate executive with a company that I don't want to name. But she, at the time she got divorced, she was making way more money than her husband. And when I get into a long story, her husband financially raped her. She was paying him alimony and child support and all that shit. It was like a complete flip.
I did a video on that, and 38% of women are earning more than their husbands. And so now, because of all these laws, we're finally starting to see it flip, where women are having to pay men alimony. Is happening more and more than ever.
Yeah,
so
it
is happening the other way around now.
Well, I have a god sister was worried it didn't pan out that way good for her. But I have a god sister who was married, and she was like that. She was making like between 150, 200 grand a year. Her husband was working some low-paying job in a restaurant, and they started having problems. And I remember her talking to me a couple times. She was worried about him financially raping her. So most laws, and I've done minimal, not extensive, but minimal research on this. Most laws tend to favor. The ideal for most laws is, and again, there's going to be exceptions here and there, but generally they just don't want, the laws are set up so that nobody goes out of a marriage damn near broke and homeless. They don't want to see whoever ends up outside the marriage after divorce being broke, whether that's the woman or the man. They don't want them to see them be broke and homeless. But now there are people who have taken advantage, like the shit with Dr. Dre, his wife saying, well, I'm accustomed to this lifestyle, so I want whatever, $1 million a month. See, that type of shit is crazy.
Hold on, real quick. Shout out to Hulk again for the 10, man. Alternative lifestyle people getting married proves that worthless marriages now is just a legal contract to empower for the weak or more illogical sex to control men, not build families. And we got my man Dollar Washer in the building, the $5 King, bro. I never hear black people talking about being astronauts or space exploration. Instead, guess what we're talking about? Relationships. Well, hey man, you can't have no astronauts without people to make them, brother. So that's a great point, though. But pull up on me tomorrow for financial talk tomorrow with hopefully my man Dollar Will. He's supposed to be getting back to me. So go ahead, Fatal Dose. Go ahead.
Yeah, ARC, with all due respect, right? I have to disagree.
Yeah, I think
with you
Zero
on
was
that.
going to go after.
So, well, with all due respect, ARC, I have to
Maybe not.
disagree with you on that. I know many men, right, that like make 80 grand and up, men that are making in multiple six figures, right? And all these men, I know a brother who was making just $70,000 who got taken to the cleaners, and the brother couldn't even afford to a place to live. And I know a brother who owns his own consulting firm, making upwards of almost $500,000 a year. When she got through with him, he had to live in the basement of the mansion he had built until he could get back on his feet.
Wait.
So
I'm not sure what you're disagreeing with. That's
no.
what
I'm
the brother
disagreeing
said.
with what he's saying is that men, the court system is set up so that no one will end up in poverty.
I said
at the
ideally.
end of a
Key word. I
divorce.
said ideally.
He stated that the system is set up that whoever's the higher earner is the one who gets rinsed out more than the other one.
Let me back in real quick.
And that's what I'm saying.
Hold up, Fatal Dose. Let me back in real quick. And that's what I wanted to say too. You guys, again, I'm not saying you're being disingenuous, but you're not giving the context. Even in those cases where the woman makes more money, especially if there's children involved,
exactly. Now that's
it still swings to where the man has to pay. I've seen plenty of situations, and this is anecdotal. If you look at the stats and the numbers, there's a reason why the stats and the numbers where there's still a majority of men, vast majority of men paying alimony and or child support. That's what I'm telling you. Again, that can't.
I would disagree with you on alimony. You might be halfway right on the child support.
Right.
Sometimes that does always lean towards men. But I'm telling you, alimony is all about who was making the most money. And if the woman is making more money, like, look at Mary J. Blige. She has to pay her ex-husband alimony because she was making way more money. I've never heard of a guy
again,
he was making less money than her. I've never heard of that.
That's the exception to the rule.
Yeah, you're talking about two like world-renowned singers. Again, that's
I told you about a regular woman. I know a regular woman who I used to
do the same. It just comes down to the fact that that's the laws, and if they're making more money.
Jessica, name me a regular smuggler, everyday woman that you know that's paying alimony. Go.
I don't know anyone that's paying it because the people that I know that are married are newly married and they're still married. I don't know anyone that's got divorced. Right?
Alan Roger Curry.
I do know.
Wait. Hold on, Sister George.
Alimony.
Sister George. All right, so hold on. All right, so Alan Roger Curry, you named one. Do you know more than one?
I don't know more than one personally. That's the only one.
Okay. So even that. All right, so wait.
But I've heard.
Wait. Just pause me. One.
Alimony.
Sister George, how many you know?
I know one for sure that pays alimony.
One. Okay, so out of the one, now tell me how many personal people that you know that are married. Go.
Probably hundreds.
All right, so that's 1%. Alan Roger Curry, how many do you know?
Wait a minute, because you have to give
1%.
You have to give context. First of all, she was a lawyer, and I think he was like a chef or some shit like that.
I'm conceding. Wait, Sister George, I'm not arguing with you. I'm conceding your point. The woman makes more money than it happens. What I'm saying is, just like you guys you tried to use the argument about the prenups and whatnot, and you had points. There's not enough prenups to really even die on that hill. I agree with you on it. It's the same thing for the women paying alimony. It's
a bit of calculus, yeah. Like for example, like if she has children, right, and if she's the one who's going to be the primary caregiver, which is 85% of the time, then the alimony money gets cancelled out, and then maybe she doesn't end up paying a lot, or she doesn't end up paying anything. So usually the child thing actually kind of equalizes things out, and then in effect, the alimony doesn't actually get paid out.
Wait, brother. Do you know what you're talking about? That is not how it works, right? The alimony and the child support does not happen in the divorce case. The divorce case, the only thing that's settled is alimony. The man could pay upwards up to 50% of alimony, and then after that, then she takes him to family court and get money for the kids. And depending on how many kids you have, the rest of that 50%, and the judge doesn't say at the family court, well, you're already paying 50%. They base it off your net, and
No,
then
you
charge you for
misunderstood the
that.
point.
So, bro, Truth, who just had that note up there, do you think a marriage should be abolished? Do you think that's all I want to know? All these guys who saying there's all these risks. Like I asked Fantastic earlier, straightforward question. He answered. He said no. Who is on this panel, male, that thinks marriage should be abolished and why?
100%. There's no need for it.
Well,
Tell
I
me,
think
what's
that
the
it
need
should
for
be
it?
reformed. I think that modern marriage should be reformed. Just like Robert the Bruce did when he gained the independence from England, meaning that prior to Robert the Bruce, William Wallace, Braveheart, they were a dependent nation. So Robert was one of the most famous warriors in his generation, and eventually,
Okay, wait, GC, I'm going to say this because there are a lot of people waiting to talk.
during his
Your
reign, and
statement that you said to me was that you said in your country, and I said to you, Braveheart is not from my country. Braveheart is from Scotland.
No.
And you said, well, the laws, and I said, right now, I said
one at a time, kids. Come on.
It's
Let's play nice.
independent, right? It's its own country and it has its own laws. So when you made that point, it was because you said in your country, and I said Scotland is not my country. It's a whole separate country, right? I live in England. Scotland is a whole different country. So that's the point that I was making, okay? Right now, you are proving nothing and you're holding up the conversation when other people obviously want to chime in on the topic.
I would like my opportunity to be petty. Okay, what I said was
you're not being petty because it doesn't
You're interrupting, Jessica. May I speak?
No, because Fatal Dose was meant to go. Then it was meant to be Zero. It was meant to go around, and you're
but you interrupt
messing up the flow.
And now I would like to interrupt.
I didn't. Mine. You actually interrupted.
Okay. Go, game changer. Let him go, Jessica. So we can move on.
Gary, I got it, brother.
Thank you. Okay, so now the movie took place in both Scotland and England. The movie took place where he conquered parts of England, at least according to the movie, and they had meetings in England as well, where the English were talking about Scottish policies. Now, at the time of the movie, because under whose rule or whose law they were under, they seem to have been under English law, and it was Robert the Bruce, the guy at the end of the movie, who later fought for the independence of Scotland against England, at which time, after which it became its own independent nation until, what was it? What did you say, like 17 something or other? But yeah, at that time in 13, it wasn't. So when I say that the movie take place in your country, it does, because it took place in both countries.
Okay, you obviously got the UK, as a lot of people do. You looked at the UK as a country. It's okay. You can come around because you would have said that at the time. Okay, right now
I did say that at the time.
You're trying to save face.
I did say that at the time, Jessica.
You didn't. You're trying to save face. It's okay.
So I'll pause again and I'll rewind it and we'll revisit this.
Oh, okay.
Don't make a stream about it.
Yeah. Okay. So Erks the first with the $2, ladies and gentlemen, Jessica X. Shout out to New. This is the pettiest live stream I've seen so far. It has been a while. Again, I'm back. Hey, I'm back. I'm in daytime, baby. Daytime shorties open back up. So hey, we with it, man. Wednesdays, you know how we get it. But my man Zero, what you got to say? What you have to say, brother? Go ahead.
Shit, a lot. So I got to catch up. Real quick. Cultural marriages are marriages. I defined marriage earlier by the legal definition. It is literally defined as a recognition of the union in order to sanction the breakup. And again, you don't marry each other, you marry the state. Sister George, she's still here. That 5% stat is ridiculous. First of all, the start dates of these marriages are not included in these stats. When did these people get married? How long have they been married? The prenups weren't common and still aren't common practice or even mandatory. So for the sake of scope, that statistic is bullshit. So for all the reasons I just stated, you just don't, the data isn't there.
Wait, what do you mean it's bullshit?
You can't even use that authoritatively because, again, the marriages themselves don't have stats on them. You don't know how long these people have been married. If they were married long times, then especially like within 20, 30 years or whatever, prenups weren't even common. And they're still not common. They also are not they're not mandatory or even recommended. Typically, prenups are forced by whichever party stands to lose. So again, that 5%, that's bullshit. Also, for the sake of scope, if you want a good measure of what happens when the law comes close to some sort of balance, like in prenuptial terms or whatever, or even alimony, like you guys were discussing earlier, you want to see what happens when law comes to some sort of balance. The love of marriage becomes a non-issue. For example, you have a country-sized demographic in New Zealand where they changed the alimony law on January 1st of 2020 to be a bit more fair to men. Now, it's still not fair, but a bit more fair. So instead of 20 years of spousal maintenance, it was reduced to 5 years. The law was passed in the summer of 2019 to take effect, again, January 1st, 2020. Around October, they had one of the biggest divorce spikes in the history of their country ever, because women were bailing out of quote unquote happy marriages. These men were caught off guard, caught by surprise. And again, this sample size is the country. So this isn't 1,000 people or 2,000 people. It's the country of New Zealand. So these women were bailing out of their marriages, and it spiked all the way up to nearly 70%. It was like 65% or something like that, because women were leaving because they weren't going to get 20 years of alimony anymore. It was reduced to 5. But if their marriages were so solid, that change in the law would have not made a difference at all. But women bailed out to protect themselves legally, which is the whole point of what I be talking about. Men need to understand how to protect themselves legally. And then to misogynoir, I think, yeah, you said something about me focused on the finances. Not just the finances. It's the societal aspect, it's the family aspect, and the legal aspect. I know people get like one track minded on this shit, but no, it's everything. The cave argument, that's stupid. Surviving the environment nullified hypergamy. Living in a more comfortable cave doesn't make any sense. Surviving your environment nullifies hypergamy, because survival removes the ability to desire another person.
No, that's not how it works. Genetics does not work where, like, once you have something, it stops. They're programmed to always want more. That's just how they're programmed.
The hypergamy you're talking about, rampant hypergamy, is a product of modernity. If you live in a modern society where you're not at war, you're not trying to survive, yes, then hypergamy becomes a thing. But then men bend the knee anyway on some yes dear shit. In the ARC, the marriage laws do not vary wildly. They vary in the sanctions for the breakup, but they don't. Marriage laws don't vary, but the sanctions for the breakup, divorce laws vary by state.
That's what I said. I said divorce. Okay. I didn't say marriage law. I said divorce law.
Okay, gotcha. So, like, for example, nationwide, you still have to provide a valid reason for a divorce, and a judge has to find that reason within reason before granting it. You shouldn't be able to divorce just because. However, states interpret that law however the fuck they want, and because the family court is not civil court or criminal court, it is its own jurisdiction. It is its own power. Judges in family court aren't even real judges. They're magistrates and guardian ad litems. And in those states, in every state, they make it. Sometimes a real judge will get a case, and they'll make it mandatory for a couple to go to counseling before granting a divorce. But sometimes it's just a formality. These aren't wild variances. This is just what happens, because the family court, again, is not civil or criminal. It is its own power. It's its own jurisdiction. Jurisdiction means power. It's its own jurisdiction, and they can do whatever they want. And I mean this, I'm not even being hyperbolic. They can do whatever they want. And the overwhelming majority of divorces are granted just from the act of filing the paperwork with an attorney. So that's it in a nutshell.
All right, shout out to Doug. Shout out to Doug for the 5. GC is correct. Edward Longshanks ruled over Scotland, although Scotland has its own government. Who the hell? Y'all niggas
that wasn't even the argument.
Yeah, y'all said 37 days. We went from William Wallace to this person.
Well, Edward Longshot was the antagonist of the movie that I was referencing that took place in both England and Scotland.
Okay, I want to ask you this, GC. How much of the movie was set in England?
Enough of it to say it was both set in England and Scotland.
No, it's not. It's not. Let's just be honest. You're embarrassed because you thought the UK was a country, right?
I did not think that the UK was a country, or else they wouldn't be fighting.
It was obvious. Okay, don't interrupt me, please. It was obvious because if that was not the case, you would have said when I first brought it up, I was referring to England, and the movie is set in both England and Scotland. You waited half an hour because you wanted to think of an appropriate comeback, and that's all you had. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, so Jessica, you're saying
wrong. You're right.
So Jessica, you're saying that I would have said that in the beginning?
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually have that queued up. What I said in the beginning. Let's take a listen.
So GC. Okay.
And they were living under a system in your same country. They were living under a system.
Hold on, wait. You just said in your same country.
Right.
You just said in your same country, brother.
Southern. Excuse me. Part of the movie did take place in the same country.
The movie is 99% Scotland.
All right. Can I play the clip?
You know that's not what you meant.
Hey man, y'all handle this shit. Y'all handle this shit 101. Hey, y'all handle this shit 101. No, y'all handle this shit 101, bro. Y'all got each other.
So I can play.
Bro, this does nothing positive. GC, this does nothing positive. Just hit her up. Y'all can talk to each other. Just hit her up.
Well, she could have hit me up in the back before.
The Roger report for the 20
all right, everybody listening, I have the evidence.
Bro, okay, bro,
I am not being allowed to play it.
Ruining someone else's stream. Take it to your channel. I said this to you earlier.
Hey, man.
Ruining someone else's stream.
Hey, it's cool, man. Hey, it's GC, bro. It's GC. You good, bro? You good now? You done? All right, cool. All right, let me read the money, bro. Appreciate you, brother. Let me shout out to my man. Fuck, did I lose it? I hope I didn't lose it.
Is GC light skin?
Yes, he is.
I'm glad you acknowledge, your brothers, but shit, man. Shout out to the Roger report, man. If you don't take the lifetime part of the marriage contract seriously, then you don't take marriage seriously. Someone is supposed to die for it in the end. No man should marry a woman who's against staying until death. And again, brother, like I said, forever never seems that wrong until you grown. That shit sound good on paper, bro. For life, nigga, life. That's a long time.
You don't do it until you get old.
I can say life because I'm 57.
Nigga, you proving my point. I'm
40, so
you're on the back end.
I'm in it for life, God damn it.
That's what I'm saying. So this is what I'm saying. And again, this is we selling because again, a lot of people are trying to tell younger dudes, look, man, talking about marriage and all these other things, bro. I'm with like Fatal Dose. Fatal Dose gave some of the best advice, man. Bro, you shouldn't even be entertaining marriage until you're like maybe mid-30s. I'd say maybe 33 at the youngest. Okay, you shouldn't even be entertaining it. Because again,
wait. Okay, fantastic. Now hold up. Didn't you criticize me earlier for not being married in my 20s and 30s?
No, nigga, I said you out here fucking these hoes when you had the chance to be married up here fucking waving a marriage flag. Nigga, that's what I said. I'm not
say that and say you co-sign with, because I believe that. I don't believe any man should get married before 35. Because I wouldn't find it in addition to me fucking a lot of hoes, an even bigger issue was I wasn't financially stable in my 20s and 30s. I wasn't financially stable enough to get married. And most men are not. There's exceptions, of course. But generally, most men ain't in their 20s. They ain't financially stable enough to get married.
I'm with you. Like I said, yeah, bro. Yeah, you're dooming. What up?
I don't really understand that point there. I mean, what does it really change if you're like 35?
Well, again, listen, and Jessica.
What it changes is you already have your stats.
I think it's for guys. I think it's 35 and over. The divorce rate drops. So it's about, because when you're younger, you're still growing, you're changing, you're growing rapidly. But once you get to a certain age, you're not growing as rapidly, and you don't grow apart as much.
Does it drop significantly? And by significant, more than 15%?
Yeah, more than 15. I know definitely for women it does. Definitely more than 15.
And you not finished fucking these hoes in your 20s, man. Again, if you are a young, strapping young man,
Facts of life and reality, son.
a BABG with options, trust me, man. The last thing you want to be is locked down to one pussy for in your 20s. All right, I mean it's hard to do. It's very, very hard to do.
You should never do it.
But we got a new person on the panel. Dennis, what's up, bro? Who's Dennis? What's going on, brother? Some new blood. What's up?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Yeah, I probably came in at the wrong time. Long story short, this is all I really had to say. Like, marriage. Let's just be honest. For most people, marriage is just an outdated concept. And if a lot of people don't really think about it this way, just go on Tinder. Do you know how many women's profiles are saying that they're polyamorous or they're married and they're looking for somebody? And a lot of people also got to really understand too is for a lot of people, man, a lot of people are settling in their marriages. I mean, you just look at them. Most people aren't happy. And a lot of times, even if you're the best option for a woman, you don't actually have to marry her. So that's all I got to say.
All right, Greg, thank you for keeping it concise, brother. And like I said, we have hit the 3-hour mark anyway. So this has been a great discussion. Shout out to the two light-skinned niggas that inspired this conversation. Shout out to my man Truth, motherfucking Prince Jr., Prince the second round, this motherfucker. Hey, bro, I fucks with you. Hey, the attitude you got, man, more niggas need the attitude like you, brother. Again, you came up here, said the shit you got to say. Ain't no hard feelings, man. It is what it is. But don't act like you gonna motherfucking like, hey, we can box, nigga, if you want to. I'm just saying, hey, it is what it is. But hey, real shit though, man. Hey, real shit for coming up here, brother. Greatly appreciate you for your contributions to the convo, man. Go ahead.
Thanks for having me. I'm mad that we got so heated so quick. I have an anger problem, and I felt like I was being disrespected and mocked. I'm cool for being clowned, but I the only thing I take serious is what I say, and I just wanted what I said taken serious. I probably was too sensitive. That's my issue.
Bro, it is what it is, bro. Bro, and stop looking at the chat, nigga. I seen you talking about you was gonna show your receipts for your hoes. You a dumb this and that. Like, hey man, go right ahead, brother. It is what it is. Like, nigga, yeah, exactly, man. I'm with it too. But yeah, man, this was a great shout out to Alan Roger Curry for coming through, man. Greatly appreciate him. This was a great conversation. I think a lot of stuff got put out here. Thank you, Jessica X. Thank you, Zero. Thank you, GC. Gary Grant, Fatal Dose, Dennis. Shout out to my man Ike, the light-skinned nigga that was talking about my mama. He hit me with the motherfucking $200 ball on the thing, man. This nigga definitely coming through with the space. Shout out to my man Caesar D1 in the building. Caesar D1, the motherfucking steal the manosphere Santa Claus out this bitch. Shout out to my man New. Shout out to everybody that Isaac Sama. Shout out to the clique, man, the clan. Y'all know who you are. Sister George in the building. I gave motherfucking credit to the dark skinned sisters over the light skin. Okay, I don't never say I ain't never did nothing to you, chocolate ladies. By all means, do your thing. But greatly appreciate everybody that came through, man. And oh shit, what I gotta open up my YouTube. Yeah, this nigga. Yeah, he definitely gotta get that. But you guys can go ahead. Everybody go through, give their closing statements, and we'll wrap this shit up. Who's that in the dark? Massage and War, go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining in today. I can see in the chat people calling me simp a little bit less than last time. I'm glad you guys have evolved a little bit. But to wrap this up, and to kind of respond to Zero and just finally put it down there, it's like if you know about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? People need certain kind of things kind of met. So food, safety, shelter, all that kind of stuff. And at the top of the hierarchy is the self-actualization. That's when the person basically becomes fully red-pilled, like in life, generally understanding the benefits of things, circumstances, and all that stuff, the statistics about stuff. Now, the issue is with these things like marriage and stuff is we're still living in a blue pill fantasy whereby if you're going in there thinking that the things that used to get our grandparents, it's the same thing that it should get us. if we basically understand that it might do, it might not, but be okay with either or, and have like certain systems set in place to protect our money if you want, then that's perfectly what you should be doing. But the whole idea, like even like getting brothers, making them aware about the risks involved. The problem here is it's not even about this. You just got to be red pilled aware in life in general. That involves your work, that involves your so-called friends, that involves basically just living. You can't have this idea that you believe in certain systems or people in general. You just got to be basically a lone wolf in how you operate within your own self, and then obviously operate within the pack when it's convenient to you. If you live your life like this, you'll be fine.
Gary Grant, it's on you, brother. Go ahead. Brethren, lay it down on us, brother.
I'll thank you all for having me. Young folks, stop being so thin-skinned. People's words that you don't know means fucking nothing. Young men, before you're 35, do not get married. Stack your paper. From you got your money, you can do whatever you want. Don't worry about a woman leaving you, because men can get old, as Roger Curry did, 55 getting married. Very rare for a woman to be able to do that. Take care of yourselves. Thank you.
Zero, what's up, brother? It's on you.
Yeah. Shit. All right, where do I start? All right, fuck it. If your dick is still in control of your life, you're finished. I'll just say that. As far as the previous comment about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, yeah, I know about that. Again, these things are products of modernity. Like once people have time to sit around and think about shit, they start thinking about shit. But one of the first things that men do is start to self-aggrandize. We start thinking about how we built everything and how we do everything and all this other shit. Then we start thinking of ourselves as more than human and all the rest of it. This is one of those pyramids that's based on that type of shit. So it doesn't, and also it doesn't put sex as like this fucking end all be all. It's like third. It's a psychological need at that. I mean, when you get hooked on heroin, you actually get physically addicted to it, but that doesn't mean it's a need. It just means you got physically addicted to it. Your body also produces a heroin-like substance, but that doesn't mean you have to fucking be high all the time off of feel-good shit. So, I mean, there's that. As far as like the marriage conversation we had today, I think what people have to understand is that marriage is a thing that was created by people. It doesn't exist in nature. And like everything that's created by people, it changes over time. And right now it is changing over time. It used to be a property rights issue. That's what it used to be. Marriage is no longer a property rights issue. All of the old school thinking that people are having about marriage, including women, when they want to engage in these whole traditional things, because they have the power, they got to understand marriage was about property rights. The only reason men were incentivized to do all of this seemingly altruistic and benevolent shit is because they had authority over the marriage. Basically, they owned you, and they owned the kids, and they owned the house, and they owned the horse and the farm and whatever the fuck else it was. So because marriage is no longer a property rights issue, it has become a negotiation. If it's a negotiation, then you have to negotiate the best deal possible on both sides. The problem with the negotiation is that the legality is lopsided. Whenever you have to negotiate, there has to be some legality there that benefits both parties. If it does not, the person who is on the receiving end of the shit stick is stupid for taking the deal. It's really that simple. And I hate to be so sterile about it. Like I want to be more flowery and use the fucking game language and bitchinese, but we don't got time for that. So again, marriage is not about property rights. It's a negotiation. You don't negotiate the best deal, you lose. Everything that you're thinking about, all of the simp shit that people are thinking about, men aren't simps for wanting to get married, for wanting marriage or anything like that. You're a simp if you take a dumbass deal. That's the difference. So all I'm trying to do is get people to protect themselves. Prenups are toilet paper. You will not win. The family court does not exist in civil or criminal court. You will not win. You will not create a law to get around this. Feminism has 80% of the voting block. You will never win. So you do have power. Your power is to bail the fuck out of the institution. If all like, and a lot of people in the space are always talking about how much game they got, how alpha they are, how much mouthpiece they got. If you really do have all of that, if you got all those attributes, and you can't get your woman to agree to a non-state sanctioned marriage, then you don't have any of that. So that's pretty much all I gotta say about that.
All right, Jessica, it's on you. Go ahead.
Ms. Sojourner, can I ask you a question? Are you Women's Red Pill Society?
Yep, that's me.
Oh, hell no, nigga.
Why are you asking a man to marry you?
Get him out of here, bro. Got him. Get him out of here.
Come on, man.
I've seen a few things. I'll message you.
Wait, what the fuck just happened?
Wait, what?
You know what, Jessica X, thank you for catching that, because I was like, yo, what the fuck? I was like, I thought I was tripping. I didn't want to highlight this shit. I was trying not to click on it. Yeah, man, we gotta get him.
I made a comment earlier, and
just get him on up out of here.
Replied to me.
Yeah, we getting him on up out of here, bro. We definitely getting that shit up out of here. Hey,
what just happened?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. Nothing happened. It was Jessica X made a motherfucking. Hey, but Fatal Dose, go ahead, brother. Oh, Jessica, were you done?
Yeah, I'm done as usual. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Fatal Dose, it's on you, brother. You muted, Fatal Dose. You muted.
Yeah, got it. What I want to tell the young brothers out there, man, is be careful, man, because your intention may not be the intention of the woman you're getting with. And, be wise. And if you do want to get married, try to go the non-sanction route. The woman could even petition the court to have her last name changed to yours. So you'll have the same last name, and you'll have living will, you'll have living trust, a will, and she could take care of all the financials the same way that you would do if you went through the state route. If you have to go to the hospital, you have the same last names. You say, that's my wife. No one's gonna say, oh no, you don't have a piece of paper. You can do everything without having the state involved in your life. And anytime I hear a woman say, well, we have to get the state involved, I cringe, because there's only one reason you want the state involved, and that's to fleece the man. That's all I got to say.
GC, is on you, bro.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with Fatal Dose and Zero. To have the non-state sanctioned marriage is the best option. And you're right. If she didn't want to see that as an option, if she, the only advantage that I can think of having a state sanctioned marriage versus a non-state sanctioned marriage is the legal protection. The same thing that you fear is the same thing that she embraced, which means that she is, in her mind, she's embracing the possibility of divorce. And even if she's willing to sign a prenup, she's embracing the possibility of divorce, and that she can later, have the prenup thrown out, or just simply wait for the terms. Most prenups, and I think it's required, have a term to where after 5 years or after 20 years, you have to put a time limit on the prenup. And Chris Rock's wife divorced him immediately after the prenup expired, and so did Janet Jackson and her husband. So, we have to take in consideration as to why they so eagerly, and this is men and women, whoever is the high earning person, why they so eagerly want a state sanctioned marriage over just a love ceremony or a broom jumping ceremony or anything that doesn't require the state to intervene.
All right, we got Dennis, I think, last. Dennis, go ahead, brother. It's on you.
Can I go after him? Just a quick last word.
Yeah, go ahead. Go, Dennis. It's on you, bro.
Yeah. So I wish I could have came up earlier. I had some things to do at work, but I think it's been a great discussion. Look, I've got to be 100% honest. Marriage is really not for brothers to get married. Really, the only reason is to create a stable family structure if you want to raise kids. We live in a culture, a society where, we just got to be honest. Marriage, most of it really isn't taken seriously. Personally, I've gotten some married women's numbers at the gym last week. Since COVID started, there are actually some women who were either married or in relationships who essentially said, if that dissolves, I'm be first in line. this is what I recommend. I definitely recommend, fellas, get your money right, get your career right, get your mind right, but also, when you're young, you need to go out here, you need to date a lot, do it safely. But the best way to understand women and to understand sort of relationships is to actually get out there in the field, like do it. Approach a lot of women, go on a lot of dates, recognize what you're getting into. That's what a lot of guys don't understand about game. They're trying to use game to understand women, to pick up women, but I kind of look at game as understanding what women aren't good matches for me, being able to pick up on certain clues, being able to sort of analyze certain situations and recognize, is this going to be a good situation for me to get into? And so going forward, that's going to be something that I think a lot of men are recognizing, especially in this space, is you need to be out there, you need to be out in the field, you need to be interacting with women, you need to understand what's going on, so that if you do want to pick a partner, a long-term partner, relationships, or whatever, you're making a good decision. So that's all I gotta say. Thanks, everybody.
All right, go ahead. Truth. Truth, you say you had some last thing to say, bro? Can y'all niggas hear me? I know this nigga froze or something. Anyway, shout out to Alan Roger Curry for the 5, the absolute best book on the subject of marriage, at least in my opinion. Marriage: A History by Stephanie Coontz. With that being said, man, this nigga's quitting hard as hell. What the hell going on? That's that on that one, bro. Hey, you back? Yeah, it's on you. Go ahead. Yeah,
my bad. The last thing. So all I want to say is, because I never really got to fully flesh out, and I can't do it here, but if someone wants to have kids, I feel like they do have to begin to contemplate marriage. And then if you're going to be a father, you got to be fully equipped to understand the world around you and provide for everyone in the process. And so the idea of waiting till you're 35 to get married, presuming you're doing it to have kids, because if you're not having kids, I don't know why you're getting married, honestly. Like if you don't plan on having kids, there's literally no reason to get married that I can think of. And then so assuming you're having these kids, again, it's like everyone's going to have their own opinion, but psychological studies have shown that traditional families are what's best for a developing child. I'm more concerned with children than I am with adults. So once a child comes into play, I don't care about you or what you want. So it's like, if you want a child, from my perspective, you have to be in a position to sacrifice your own happiness, meaning you might have to force a dynamic between you and your woman that has to pass the test of whether or not you want to even be together anymore. Because I feel like divorce is so horrible for kids. So it's like, that's an even deeper conversation that I can't say all at this moment. But just to say that we need children because we're going to die out if we don't have kids. Some people want to have kids, and that's blessed. And there is a way to have a house full of love. It's just not using modern Disney standards or feminist talking points. You're going to have to go back to traditional roles.
All right, bro. Really appreciate it. And hey, man, greatly appreciate everybody that came through, man. Appreciate all the likes, all the shares, all the super chats, all the cash apps, all those great things, man. Hey, don't forget about the BABJ merch if you want to, bro. That's that on that one. Oh, I gotta start reposting my shit because niggas trying to steal my shit, bro. Hold on, I gotta repost my shit. And where we at? There we go. Tune in next time on Nigga Ball Z, man. I gotta start because niggas trying to steal my shit. Holla, man. I'm out.